Islam, Morris.
Islam.
Islam.
Let's get the prayer done. Face the east, is that way?
Yeah. Boy, get me once, fool me once, shame on you.
Five on the left, two on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom. And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through His holy prophet. Noble Ali. Islam. So we're here for Moorish History Month. Skype lecture number 3.
Okay.
We were supposed to do a lecture today with brother Alendi from out in Virginia, but he had some issues that he had to deal with, so we had to cancel. But we got a special substitute teacher for today, brother Abdullah Talib Mosi, and he's going to be going in today. We're going to be going in. We got a good 2 hours lined up. One thing that I wanted to put on the record, when we first came into consciousness, like not full consciousness, but Negro, black, color, getting out of that nonsense. We came into the information of with the Illuminati and secret societies and Hiram Key, the whole of Pale Horse, government conspiracy, all these, this perspective. And that probably went on for about 7 years. That went on. When in 2008, when we nationalized, when we were helping out the sister with the situation, and we did the TV, my mom got all these calls. Oh my gosh, is this son of Mason? I never knew that was Mason or whatever like that.
I didn't know that.
All these people coming out the woodworks that, oh yeah, you should tell them, call me, I'm Mason and all that stuff. People who we known for years or whatever, coming out.
Wow.
But they see me on TV with a fez on and assumed, fezzes mean masonry. So, tell your son, come on down or whatever, we'll talk to him and all that stuff, whatever. Then they come to realize that that's not really what it is, you know what I mean? Way broader than their little, their little version, their little perspective, their scope of what we were really about. And all those same people who called, stopped calling after that.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
We just want to give supreme honors to the brother for doing the work that he's doing to make sure that our people, especially our people that are classified as Negro, black, colored, that take the position of going and joining a lodge in order to be, connected to connections so they can get free this, free that, and discounts of whatever, when reality of the situation is nationality and birthrights is the order of the day. And the brother is doing a good job in getting us to accept this information again, because like I said, we come into this perspective that Freemasonry isn't our stuff. Some Europeans got some charters and then they came over here and set it up and now we want to be down with it, when reality is that it's ours. You know what I mean? So we want to give it up for brother Abdullah Talib Mosi Bey. Islam.
Great. Oh man, thank you for having me.
All
right.
Islam, more.
You know what? Let me just a moment.
Right.
Oh yeah, like
right here. Well, of course, everyone has seen. This is the 3rd issue of the Masonic Gate. Can you see it?
Yes.
I can see. All right. Yeah, this is the 3rd issue of the Masonic Gate. And this paper's been out for 14 months now. And I must say that it is doing the job. Since this paper's been out, I have had quite a few brothers and sisters who contact Eastern Stars and Masons who have contacted me. My connection, my network my network is expanding among the lodges and chapters. I have contacts in the Moorish province, where the European private corporation called St. Louis operates. Contacts in the Moorish province, where the European private corporation called Washington D.C. operates, and other Chicago is all, so it's about my network is bad. These are Grand Lodges, other owners, International Masons, Prince Hall Masons, the Eastern Stars, Grand Matrons, Grand Masters, Worshipful Masters. So I have people who have the decision-making power. And there, one brother, I'll be going to the Moorish province, where the private corporation called Cleveland operates, around April, May. And I'll be speaking to one of the brothers who's a nationalized Moor. He's a Grand Master of oversees 5 lodges and 3 star chapters.
Wow.
So he's gonna be bringing me there. All right. So these are the type of contents I've been making since this paper's been out.
Right.
All right. So what I'm going to be doing, because I'm working on my book, Mosi Masonry, I want to hold up the paper because of my time, and I'm going to finish my book. And what I'm going to be doing is the fourth issue, which is the next issue, will be on Mosi Masonry. I'm going to have an excerpt of my book, and the front cover, this whole area, is going to be the book cover. The book cover is going to cover this whole area. And I'm going to print out 100,000 copies. I'm going to print out 100,000 copies, and I can go have Set Ra, if he can take about 1,000 copies, and 1,000 copies to you.
Right.
Right? So I'm going to print out 100,000 copies, so maybe more than 100, maybe 3,000,
right.
Maybe 5,000 copies you can send to you.
Right.
All right?
Another thing too.
We can probably do it through the mail. I can do it through the mail and spend a couple $100 mailing it to you.
Right.
Do it that way.
One more thing to add on as well. I had a class last night with some Moors in the UK.
All right.
So I put them onto the site. They've been researching the site, and they're going to contact you as well to get the paper out there.
Good.
Right.
What we can do, Cujo, is we can set it up where the paper is printed in that Moorish territory.
Right.
Where we can have this like the same issue. The same issue can be printed. Like
right.
we can ship the information to you or to the company that's going to be printing it.
Yeah.
And they can print the same issue.
Print it. Right.
That would be cheaper.
Yeah.
That would be cheap. That would be more cost effective to do it that way.
Yeah.
That way you could have maybe say print 10, 20,000 of the same issue.
Right.
And we can do the same thing in UK.
Right.
Where they're printing the same issue. All right. So that way the same issue is printed.
Yeah.
In the UK and Jamaica, whatever.
Right.
That's the way we can set it up too. That's something I thought about about 6 months ago.
All right.
All right,
Mark.
All right. So this issue for those who will be watching this. Just real quick, those who be watching this, when you upload it, this issue is titled Illuminati, Illumination of the Mind, the Ancient Musical Scale, Pineal Gland, Melanin, DNA, and Cellular Memory. Now, back about a year ago, on the Severe Bay show, suggested that I write this article. He's wanted me to write an article on Illuminati for the second issue of the Masonic Gate. But I told Sabir, because I want to do something for July 4th, because of timing, I'll do this issue as the third piece. So I had planned, I spent 4 months writing this. I had written so much that I got enough for a book. So I have a 60-page book. This is going to be a 60-page book, which will be available around April of this year. So I want to give a shout out to Brother Sabir Bay of the Severe Bay show for inspiring me, for suggesting to me to write this piece on Illuminati. I didn't know how expansive I would go, but as you know, as you get into something, you start making more connections, and all right. And as a result of that, this is a very popular issue. This is turning a lot of heads.
Yeah.
This is even connecting with a lot of young adults. because the young adults are fascinated, even the young and older teenagers, they're fascinated with the Illuminati lore, all right? Only to find out what it really means. So what I've done was I've taken it out of its misconception and mysticism and restored its ancient philosophical cultural context as it relates to mind, mental development, and mind science. So when you talk about the Illuminati, we're dealing with the illumination of the mind, having nothing to do with a European banking system, having nothing to do with a European secret society. This has all to do with ancient culture and philosophy of the ancient world, dealing with mind science and mental development, and how the mind works and how to activate the pineal gland. So this is what that deals with, the illumination. So when you're illuminated, you talk about if you look at the all-seeing eye, on the back of the Federal Reserve note, falsely called which is the unconstitutional and unlawful instrument, the Federal Reserve note. You have the eye, which is also on aprons, on Masonic apron, and the apron covers the lower three chakras. So that's why the apron is placed there. And you put your hand over the heart, representing the fourth chakra, which is your higher self. So so Christ within you, or Christ rising, the Christ is karas, which is the oil that's secreted in the brain. So the oil flows down to the brain, to the sexual region. So that the illumination takes place is when that oil at the base of the spine begins to spiral up back to the brain. So that's when Christ has risen. So replacing Christ and illumination is ancient cultural, philosophical, mind science perspective and demystifying it. Taking it away from the Europeans, as the Europeans have controlled the sciences and distorted it. And by doing this, you are in turn empowering our people. What the Europeans do is they use fear by distorting meaning of words, its origin, their meaning, origin of symbols, rituals, and so forth. And the purpose is to inject fear. And what fear does is suppresses the Kundalini energy. Kundalini referring to this coil. So the Kundalini is the coil. And if you're looking at particular cartoons or movies, we have the cobra. And the cobra is coiled, and then it becomes, and then you play music, and they're playing the flute or something, because the musical scale, the ancient musical scale, A equals 432 Hertz. That scale is based in nature. And as that scale is being played, it actually uncoils or unravels the Kundalini. It gives us what's called firing up the spine. You will see even looking at here, this is on page 4. You see this symbol here?
Yeah.
All right. This is Egyptian staff of Osiris in Egypt. This is in Egypt Museum of Turin, Italy, 1224 BC. So the staff represents the spine, and the snakes going up the spine, that represents the oil, spine up the spine, or the Christ within you, Christ rising within you. And that pine cone represents the pineal gland. So the Europeans are claiming our culture. The France uses this pine cone, we call it actually the lotus flower. The lotus flower they call the fleur de lis is actually representative of the pineal gland too. So these are our culture, but there's a practice that goes with that. Spirituality is the science of breathing. We talk about controlled, systematic breathing to activate the Kundalini energy. So the concept of spirituality has been suppressed. So people say a bunch of words that they're spiritual and spirituality. You're saying you're spiritual, you're saying that your pineal gland is activated. All right, so you're saying you're spiritual, you should be able to walk through walls, you should be able to levitate, you should be able to lift cars up, your mind, and strengthening, you be able to pick up and things like that. You're saying you're spiritual.
So
go ahead, yes.
Because you brought up the pharaohs in Kemet. So the on the crowns, the serpent head on the crowns
Yes.
represents their enlightenment, not necessarily their political power of being a
Both.
pharaoh. Or is it
Both.
both? Okay.
Let me explain both. Yeah, we don't want to separate that.
Yeah.
Right, we don't want all right. I'm glad you mentioned that. Great question, because that I need to clarify that. Well, what we did was, this is where, because there is a political connection to this. This is what duality said. This is the divine, Moorish divine, and national movement. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm talking about the divine side.
Right.
Right, now I need to talk about the national side. What we did was we used these symbols for government as well, because we understood the connection, divine and national. So there's not a separation there. So these represent political. This represents sovereign power. The Roman who uses our sovereign title, Pope, not the Pope. The Roman who uses our sovereign title, Pope, which is a hepta kata, what they call Egypt. Hepta Bata. Bata, the modern name for Bata is Pope. Another modern name for Bata is Peter. So that Roman sits on our throne. The seat of St. Peter is our throne. And the title is our title. So this power still exists. That's our sovereign power. That's our sovereign title. So what we did was we connected the divine with the national. So now they also have a political function and political meaning. They have a divine meaning as well as a political meaning and function. You understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
All right. So the key is it does have a political meaning as well. It has a meaning dealing with mental development as well as a political. So this represents sovereign power and authority because you're illuminated.
Right.
All right.
And so the only real head of government would be ones that are illuminated to some level of
Yes.
spirituality, like what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Once again, divine, Moorish divine, and national movement. I want to put that into perspective.
Right.
Because a lot of times people they used to parrot things. They'll just say divine and national, not knowing why.
Right.
Analyze why divine and national.
Mm-hmm.
What is the divine and what is the national?
Right.
So the divine side is not taught in certain Moorish side temples. Neither the national side. They'll say, well, they just deal with the divine side in the Moorish side temple. They deal with neat. You're one of the few temples that deal with both. Another misconception is, see, they just deal with religion in the temples, and they don't deal with government principles. They don't teach religion in the temples.
Right.
Religion is not taught. Religion is not neither taught nor practiced in any church, mosque, synagogue, Buddhist temple anywhere in the world. The people who go to temples, mosques, synagogues, temple, masjids, or whatever in the world are not given religion. Not given religion. Well, what do you say? What do you mean by that, Abdullah? Religion, religion, the root word legir means bind, to bind. Is the infinitive, which is the second principal part of the verb in Latin, which is the infinitive, to bind. They added, you have the prefix, re, which means back. So bind back, so we're looking at, the religion is a system of binding you back to your divine mind. Once again, that divine mind, the activation of the Kundalini energy, the pineal gland. All right? So that's what religion. So that practice is not taught anywhere openly in the temples, mosques, Buddhist temples, synagogues, churches in the world. those who oversee that are given the lessons, but those parishioners are not taught that. So they don't teach the religion is not presented in the temples. So we gotta clear that up. We gotta, because they're not teaching how to activate the pineal gland. Well, that's religion. This is religion.
Yeah.
It's religion. In its true sense. Now, unless you can take me somewhere in the world, direct me somewhere in the world where this is taught open. And in those mosques, temples, Buddhist temples, whatever, synagogue, whatever, take me anywhere in the world. I'll challenge anybody to give me somewhere in the world where it's taught openly in the world. Nowhere.
Now, quick question with regard to that. Noble Drew Ali made the statement that some of his best Moors are in the church.
Yes.
Is our position to go there to assist in bringing them out or raising them up, or do we wait for them to come out? Because he also said that when a Moor goes into a church, it becomes a temple.
All right, let me clarify. I love the questions. Thank you. Because the questions allow me to clarify things. Right. The word church comes from the Latin, means circle. Church means circle, and it denotes the zodiac. So going to church, if you have an ephemeris there.
No, you don't.
All right. So if you open up an ephemeris, you'll be going to church. Open up an ephemeris, ephemeris, ephemeride. All right. We have the plural and the singular. So an ephemeris is a book of the daily planetary positions. Doesn't focus on the stars, so it's limited because it's just the planets. So you also want to deal with the stars as well. So we're looking at the planets and their daily positions. And then from there, you'll be able to construct a natal chart. So that's going to church. If you're talking about going to a building that they call a church, all right, the building is laid out astronomically. All right, so we don't want to separate that, but the building is laid out astronomically. There's four churches in Europe: Bologna, Florence, Italy, and one other city in Europe. But those four churches were used primarily as observatories for a period of 200 years. In a period of 200 years, there was 5,000 observatories that were made among those four churches. In the church, you have what's called a sanctorial hole, where the sun would shine through, and they had what's called a metal rod. A metal rod was placed along the floor, what they called the meridian. And they would determine the time of year based on where the light shined along the metal rod or the meridian. They actually had calculated. So it's called the church, cathedrals as observatories. The sun in the church, book is called The Sun in the Church, Cathedrals as Observatories. So the cathedral itself is an astronomical instrument by J.L. Habran. J.L. Habran, the sun in the church, cathedrals as observatories.
Now, it's interesting that you say that too, because in the islands, there's a lot of times where they take the congregation outside to do the service. Like I used to live in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
And there was times where, they take the congregation outside and they do the service outside of the building.
That probably be to double time with the sun.
Right, exactly, to observe the stars.
A star, yes.
Which would make sense if you're going to church.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to church.
Or if you're, what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
That just came to me just as you said that. I just remember that, going through that.
Well, let me answer the second part of your question. That's the first part.
Yeah.
All right, second part of your question, do we go inside the buildings? All right, this is how we're going to connect with our people. I'm going to put out another newspaper, as you know, called The Christian Light. And I'm gonna be using as my logo for the Christian light, the European on the cross. Now, why am I gonna be using that as my logo? Because that's where most of our people identify with. This is worldwide now. Most of our people identify with the European on the cross. So I'm gonna give them something that they can relate to and get their attention. You gotta grab their attention. So this is how. So the Christian light would be just as well known as the Masonic Gate.
Right.
So we're gonna put out the Christian light, the first issue after we're gonna have out in the midsummer. I plan to have put the Christian light out.
Yeah, right. Not to give you work, but you should also consider something for Muslims. Because we had an incident, but last week on the bus, I gave a brother the Masonic Gate newspaper. And he took the paper. He's like, "Oh no, I can't take this." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, well, I'm Muslim. That's against my religion, and we're not supposed to." But I'm like, "You didn't even read anything yet. Why don't you read it first?" You know what I mean? So, just like you're saying, Masonic Gate, and you're using the symbology to get our people that are Masons, and then the Christian light to use the symbology to get the people that are Christians that are our people. There has to also be something for the Muslims as well.
All right.
Asiatics that are Muslims.
I agree. I definitely agree. That I'll think about that and how of course.
Yeah,
I would have to put out another newspaper.
Yeah, just a thought.
Now the reason I went with the Christian light, because most of our people who are classified as Negro, color, black in the Moorish Moroccan Empire. That Moroccan Empire includes what they call Canada, United States, and Central America. So that's the Moroccan Empire, starting from Canada all the way down to, Peru,
right,
and including the Jordan Islands. That's the Moroccan Empire. Also with the continent Africa, that encompasses the Moroccan Empire. Most of our people who are in the Moroccan Empire are go to that building they call the church. That's South America, Central America, the islands, all right? That includes what they call Canada, that includes what they call the continent Africa. So I'm more focused, what is majority? I want to hit the majority. Now, that doesn't preclude me putting out another newspaper, all right? I can call it maybe the Islamic Times.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with y'all.
I hear you.
All right.
I hear you.
I can put out the Islamic Times as an example.
Right.
Maybe at the end of the year.
Right.
Let's look at October. So I can put out Christian, for maybe at the end of the summer.
Right.
All right. And then what I'll do with the Islamic Times is that I will do the etymology of the word Allah, which I did in the first issue.
Yeah.
First issue,
Right.
Boaz Jakin. I give the etymology of Allah, which is the moon. All right, Allah is the moon. All right, so you have those who go to what they call the churches, they focus on the sun. And those who go to the mosques, they focus on the moon.
Right.
And so what I'm going to be doing is bringing them together. That's what I did in the first issue. The astronomical geometrical origin of Boaz and Jakin, the two pillars of Boaz and Jakin. Boaz denotes the moon. Boaz denotes the sun, Jakin denotes the moon. And so what they did was, and I thank you for this, I love you, brother. The moon, we used the moon. There were societies that predominantly used the moon to govern their society. The society was governed by the moon calendar or lunar calendar. They planned by the lunar calendar. They had rituals and different symbols were all directed to the moon. The word sin, the Sumerian word sin means moon. They used the goat. The goat is an ancient symbol, even going back to Egypt. The golden min, which is an ancient symbol of the moon. So what the Europeans have did was attack that. They distorted it. Because by doing that, they're suppressing the culture. They're distorting the agriculture, because the agriculture was tied to the moon, the phases of the moon. The word month means moon. The word menstruation means menses, means moon. And moon coming from the Indo-European root, M-E, which means measure. Measure what? Measure of time based on the cycles of the moon. Now, so now you have those societies. And you have societies who focus on the sun, but as far as planting, you plant it by the moon.
Right.
So then you have those who focus on the sun. Jesus was just the sun that you in. Mitzvah, Zodiac, how to rule the sun and the moon. So what they did was they blended both calendars, the solar calendar and the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar is ancient. So in blending those two different calendar systems, because they're based on two calculation systems and different timings, you create a new calendar called the solar lunar calendar, or lunar solar calendar. And by bringing those two systems together, you have to use a mathematical system called intercalation. INTERCALATION. Intercalation is a mathematical system whereby you adding a day or month to a calendar because you make up adjustments. So adjustments have to be made. So that's called intercalation. So Allah and Jesus are one. Allah and Jesus are one. What that means is you have the solar calendar and the lunar calendar. The devil denotes the lunar calendar, and Jesus denotes the solar calendar. So you don't want Jesus and the devil wrestling. You don't want Jesus and the devil against each other.
Right.
I'm breaking it down, demystifying, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus denotes the solar calendar. The devil denotes the lunar calendar. So they brought Jesus and the devil together, creating this lunar solar calendar. See, what they did was they demystified it.
Right. Now,
The devil, the image of the devil, what they call the devil, is a goat. That's what they made gory. They made this goat gory, all right, to demystify it. Then the horns. So now you have the staff with the fork. The fork was called a trisula. A trisula, what they call a trident in Latin. Tri means three, dent means teeth. So the three representing in nature. In nature, you have your in cycle of three, you have your solid, liquid, and gas. And your seasons, you have each phase, each seasonal phase, you have what you call your cardinal sign, which you initiated, all right? Then you have your mutable, what's called your mutable sign, or fixed, and your mutable sign, which transition. Cardinal, fixed, and mutable. That's your three. All right? You have your electrons, protons, and neutrons, your three. You have your rising of the sun is at its climax, and your setting is your three again. The color red represents a conjunction of the moon, of Venus and Mars. Mars and Venus conjunction. And when you have Mars and Venus conjunction, you have calamity. It's all based in astronomy. You just have to demystify it.
Right.
And so that's why the devil, they red. You have the three, the fork, all right, the goat figure, because the goat is an ancient symbol of fertility, denoting the lunar calendar. They just made it gory to control us. They controlling our minds to get us away from the agriculture.
Yeah.
So that they can now we go to supermarkets, and they go get our fruit and vegetables and stuff like grains and stuff to get us away from that. And this is also tied to. This is why this is all tied in, bro. It's January 1st. Convincing, distorting people's mind, and misrepresenting the new year as January 1st. January 1st is not a new year for anyone. What they did was do a Roman decree in the 1600s. They were throughout all of Europe was celebrating the natural new year on March 25th, the Roman equinox. Through a Roman decree, they were forced to stop celebrating or calculating the natural calendar based on the Roman equinox, and then what? Focus on January 1st, which is not a new year. That was done politically. That's not based in nature. That was done politically. Why? To get them off to control their agriculture. To control the agriculture, to control them. Because that agriculture is your food source. If you don't have control of your agriculture, you have no control of your economy, your food source.
So as far as controlling the food source, this is why international corrupt agencies like IMF and these people go into the so-called less countries and shut down their ability to create their food and sell it.
Yes.
So that they can control them on different levels.
Absolutely, it's all tied in. Right. So you control the calendar, you in turn control the food source. It's all tied to the food source, bro. Because you can't feed your society who have none.
Right.
You can't you have an outside force controlling your economy. Because it's tied, you're talking about grains and vegetables and fruits. You use that for substance. Now let's also tie this in. What they also done, this all ties in, bro. The word commerce, the Commerce Clause in the United States Constitution is Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3. The word commerce means trade. Words that are derived from the word commerce is mercantile, merchant, mercury, mercantile, commercial. Those are words, merchant, those are words that are derived from the word commerce, the root word merc, M-E-R-C, which means trade. What they've done unconstitutionally, unlawfully, was broaden its meaning to include agriculture. But agriculture is not trade. There's an article called The Original Meaning of the Commerce Clause by Randy Barnett, B-A-R-N-E-T-T. The original meaning of the Commerce Clause. And in there, he has referencing a United States Supreme Court judge who used etymology, used Samuel Johnson's 1758 dictionary to determine the meaning of commerce. He used the etymological meaning to render the decision, when instead clearly stated that commerce is in contradistinction to agriculture, as commerce means trade. So by broadening this meaning to include trade, they're usurping. Once again, land, agriculture, agra, A-R-I-A-R-A-G-R-I, which means field, and culture, cult, means till. So you, tilling the land, planting seeds. It's not a commerce. Right. Because without that, you can't live. They can't tax that. And manufacture, manu means hand, and fact means do. Make or do with your hands. So manufacturing and agriculture are not commerce.
So this is.
So what they did with it, one to me, it's all connected, bro.
Right. So the extension or the broadening of the meanings is relative to even having people think that their income is pecuniary wages. Absolutely. So that they can steal the people's hard work, opposed to people thinking that they're getting something for what they do.
I love you, brother. You bring the best out of me. Love you. All right. This is where etymology comes in. Pecuniary, P-E-C-U, which means cattle. All right? Now, cattle referring to agriculture, once it's tied to agriculture, because with that, and on farms, all right, cattle is valuable because you need cattle for plowing, right? Here we go. It's still tied to agriculture. So you're talking about pecuniary wages, we're still going back to agriculture. That the word PQ means cattle. So then this once again, putting that into commerce is not to include it. Manufacturing and agriculture is not to be included in commerce. And income applies to deals with corporations. And corporations make income. So Once a then they had to what? Make you a what? Dead person. They made you a dead person, a corpse. So they govern you as if you were a dead person.
Right.
So you have what's called an artificial person, dead person. All right, dead means dead. Though you are physically alive, you are politically dead. For civil mutus, dead in the eyes of the law. So you're governed as a legal fiction that they created, and so it's on paper. They have commercial instruments, birth certificates, all right, marriage certificates, driver license, whatever. They're all commercial instruments. Dead paper. All right. So you have the living, and then you have the dead. All right. So thank you for that, because of course, all right.
Yeah.
We went beyond what I really wanted to, but it's all tied in.
Yeah,
so
it's
see
all
how
relative.
you go into one subject and then you want to ask your questions based on something. That's how it goes.
Right.
All right. Okay.
I know,
Another question?
Yeah, no, I know. Time is usually non-existent when Moors get together. You know, because it seems to disappear. You know, when Moors get together. I just wanted to change the tune a little bit. Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Since that's today, you know, a lot of people out there celebrating, buying hearts and stuff like that. If you could just go in on Valentine's Day for our family.
All right. Yes. The Europeans have commercialized. You went into the buying hearts and stuff. They commercialized it. They've taken our culture and they've commercialized it, and they're making billions, you know, on an annual basis. They've taken that which is based in astronomy, based in nature, and benefited commercially from it. Valentine's Day, it does the heart. Why do they use the heart? Why the Cupid character? Why the color red? So let's answer that. I can answer all those questions. Why the color red? What does Cupid represent? One arrow. Valentine's Day, well, by the way, when we start off, let me say this. Happy Betelgeuse Day. Happy Betelgeuse Day. Betelgeuse is what they're celebrating. Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse is a bright red star. That's why they call it red. And Betelgeuse is tied to this time of year. Why the Cupid character? Well, Betelgeuse, the bright red star Betelgeuse, is in the constellation of Orion's belt. Orion is a three-pole star, and they call Orion the archer or pointer, because to find other major stars, you first find Orion, where Orion leads the way or points the way. That's why. So it's in the constellation of Orion's belt. That's why the Cupid. So we talked about the color red and the color. So it is not a European holiday. Now, once again, the issue that I have is that commercializing. They're moving away from its agriculture. So we need to acknowledge Valentine's Day in its proper astronomical sense. As Groundhog Day and Valentine's Day are precursors to the spring. Let's talk about that, because it's all tied in. It's all tied in, y'all. All right, because you can't separate.
No.
Let's talk about Groundhog Day, which was 12 days ago. 12 days ago, the concept of Groundhog Day and the groundhog seeing the shadow or not seeing the shadow. All right, that's the ancient practice. If you're looking at this ancient tomb caves where they had pictures of groundhog, pictograms of groundhog. Now the concept of that is that you can determine the time of year it is based on hibernation patterns of groundhog. So by observing those hibernation patterns of groundhog, you can determine that spring is near. So that you know that spring is there. So the shadow, the casting of the shadow, based on the length of the shadow, whether the shadow is long or short, will determine what type of year it is. Here's the count. It's all connected. The obelisk. The obelisk, or what they call the Hanu Kekta. Actually called the What's the Egyptian word for obelisk? I can't recall the Egyptian word for obelisk, but the Greek word they use is obelisk, which is actually they use for keeping time. So you do is you put a huge stick, in this case, because the shadow will cast on it. So you cast the station. Depending on the length of the shadow will let you know what time of day it is. This is how we tell time during the daytime, and what time of year it is. So the concept of shadow, how long the shadow is, determining that spring is near. This is our culture, y'all. This is our culture. So we don't want to. We have to place in this astronomical perspective. We're giving the power to the Europeans. By dismissing it without research, dismissing it. I was there just like everybody else. Dismissing it out of hand. Because I think instead is connected to myself, to our people. It's connected to agriculture. All right. So now we're moving into the groundhog day, looking at Passover. All right. The Palm Sunday. Once again, let's look at Palm Sunday. Palm is strong. The palm tree is strong. All right. So you're looking at the strength of the sun. All right, is getting stronger. All right, and that cycle began on Christmas. Christmas is the birth of the sun, the birth of Jesus. All right, so you had the death of the son. This is all related. That's why I have to talk about this in this context. This is Valentine's Day. I'm still talking Valentine's Day, right. But I'm facing Valentine's Day is because you gotta go. Let's start with the beginning of the cycle, because Valentine's Day is not the beginning of the cycle. All right, so you're looking at the beginning of the cycle would be Christmas, because we have the winter solstice, which is March 21st in the Northern Hemisphere. So December 21st in the Northern Hemisphere is what's called the winter solstice. Solstice, S-O-L, means sun in Latin. S-T-I, Latin word means stand still or stand. So the apparent motion of the sun, we would stand still, all right, for 3 days. So that the sun is at its lowest point of elevation on December 21st in the Northern Hemisphere, where the sun stops its northerly motion. The southerly motion begins its northerly motion, and it's in the tube for 3 days. It rises again on December 25th. At that day, the days begin to get longer. It's get longer by degree. All right, so it starts off one minute, 1 day, a few days later, not 2 minutes, then 3 weeks later, 4 or 5 minutes. So the Palm Sunday connection is that the strength of the sun is strengthening, meaning it's going to get what? More daylight. All right? That's why the symbol of the palm. This is our culture, y'all. This is our culture. All right? I don't want you to dismiss Palm Sunday. All right? Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday, once again, we're still dealing with ash is fire. All right? Agni in Sanskrit. All right? What they call the quote-unquote fire god. The fire god, once again, we're looking at the sun, fire and sun relationship. All right? So the Ash Wednesday, and then so looking at the ashes being burned, all right, purification. Ashes representing purification. All right, so now you have the renewal of plant life on Earth in the Northern Hemisphere. So this is where the Ash Wednesday, Palm Sunday, Day of Ascension, Day of Atonement, all that's called all connected. Then you have what's called the Passover. The Passover is your spring. Right? Because when the Passover, we're talking about the sun leaving the Tropic of Capricorn, all right, it's on the equator on March 21st, which is the vernal equinox. It's equal day, equal night. 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. The Passover. So the Passover occurs when the sun on the equator on March 21st, and begin what? The passing over the equator. Well, it's the same concept. All right, so these particular holidays are all interrelated as it deals with agriculture. So what they've done was they removed this agricultural nature of it and commercialized it. So I'm not advocating for us to go out and buy hearts and all that, all right, because that's commercialization. But I am advocating for us to understand what it is and how it relates to us culturally. All right? Any questions?
Anybody got questions?
So I want to stop and ask that, just in case.
For sure.
But that's just come from experience, because I used to go on, so I know that.
Keep going.
Keep going, yo. We're good, Mark.
All right, good. All right, so I just wanted to happy Intelligence Day again. Happy Intelligence Day.
Love you.
All right, so I want you to connect to that. We're looking at is black a nationality, skin color, or legal status? I'm going to tie this into the impure diversity and all that.
Yeah.
Is black a nationality, skin color, legal status? Are we judged by legal status, or are we judged by skin color? Let's analyze it. Are we judged by legal status, or are we judged by skin color? Now, Dr. King said in his speech, I have a dream. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. So that's a false paradigm. And I know a lot of people, they quote that. That's what the paradigm is false. Because we're not judged by skin color, and the word color, which means to hide or conceal. So that word is distorted. That's he misused that word, because color doesn't, that red color, no. Color means to hide or conceal. So if you're coloring something, you're distorting it. That's what this coloring is. Distorting it. All right? That's coloring. Coloring the situation, coloring the word. You color a word by what? Creating a connotative meaning and what? Burying the true meaning. That's coloring a word. So we use skin color, and I wanted to give you that amount of color and put color in its proper sense. So are we judged by complexion? Are we judged by skin tone? Are we judged by pigmentation? And that's the misconception that we're judged by. And you'll often have, like my co-workers, they'll do this. We're treated because of that paradigm is false. Our what they call mistreatment has nothing to do with, has everything to do with occupation, European occupation, land theft, usurpation of national sovereignty, usurpation of national government. So they created these false paradigms, all right? They created off that. So here we're looking at, and this man, English, Irish, French, Scottish, German, Polish, and not American, and not white American, and not free white person, and not white, and not noble, and not Southern Commander, and not freeholder, and not noble, and not imperial potentate. They're not that. They're not that. They're English. They're descendants of European settlers, English, Irish, French, and foreigners. They're pilgrims. Pilgrim means, come from the Latin, peregrinus, which means foreigner. Pilgrim, what they did was, you distorted pilgrim, the word pilgrim, they got you thinking that pilgrim is a religious group of Europeans. It only applies to certain group of Europe. No. The word pilgrim applies to every European on our land. Every European that's in the Moroccan Empire is a pilgrim. Foreigner, pilgrim, foreigner, pilgrim, foreigner. Peregrinus. They're pilgrims. And they're not white people, they're not Americans, they're not white Americans, they're not free white persons, not nobles, they're not sovereign grand commanders, not pure potentates, they're not royal monarchs. And I know I'm being redundant. That's like the children I hate.
Yep.
I got children I hate because we've been conditioned every day of our lives to call them white Americans, nobles, and pure potentates, free white person, white Americans, all right, freeholders. They did that to steal our birthright. They're usurping our national sovereignty. And those titles is national sovereign power. So it's not done by accident. It's not innocent. It's not playing word games. It's restoring the original meaning, thereby restoring the sovereignty to us. We gotta stop calling them white. Stop calling them free white persons. Stop calling them Americans. Stop calling them nobles, sovereign grand commanders, and pure potentate, royal monarchs, freeholders. We gotta stop that. All right, and be very clear what they're doing when he did that. All right, so the Europeans create these connotative meanings to usurp national sovereignty and our birthright and maintain occupational rule over our land. So we're not judged by complexion. We're judged by legal status. So what they done was they classified us as nickel colored black in the United States Census Bureau. Now, here we go. They tell us that black, is a color based on we're black as a color skin. Now, in the Latin languages, black is not used as a noun. Black is used for things. Black was in the Latin languages, black are not used to refer to people. When they refer to things in Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian, the word noir, N-O-I-R, is the French word black. All right, nigger, all right, are Latin for black. Now, they use those words to refer to things. But when they refer to people in those languages, they use what? Morenos. So, Morenos, more, is referred to, they use that to refer to people. But if we want to refer to this, cell phone, Noir. All right? That's French for black. It's Noir. Yeah. It's a thing. But if they refer to me, Morenos. Yeah, Morenos. Thing. Object. Noir. Morenos. Noir. Negro. Morenos. Negro. All right? So now, here we go. So when you're doing that, now you bring it to the English. It refers to things. So when you say you're black, or when they call out people black, what? They're what? Putting out people in what? A category of things, objects, articles, table, pen, cell phones, bottles, paper,
handcuffs.
all right? So human calorie. So I want to get at you because you want to get into a debate with somebody, all right? You want to give them that. You want to give them this, when they come back with you with this black thing. Oh yeah, are you aware that in the Latin languages, black is used to refer to things and not people? Well, what word is used to refer to people? More? See? I'm giving you some structure to which to teach. Now I trust that you use some of these lessons because it will empower you and it'll make you a more effective teacher. All right, this is where etymology comes in. So I'm giving you a basis of that. So what they've done, so we went from commerce and human trafficking. The 14th Amendment, what Abraham Lincoln did is he gave the states bonds. They say, well, we were emancipated. Well, emancipation means to what? Transfer hands from one owner to another owner. So when Abraham Lincoln gave the state bonds, he was treating us as property. What you giving state bonds for? You talking about freeing us? What you giving those state bonds for? You don't need to give them those state bonds. Because they were paying for property. So what they did was and doing that, they took it out of control of the states into what? Federal zones. So this is where the 14th Amendment comes in. So when Lincoln used bonds to buy us, all right, from the states, European colonies, and put us in the federal zones as property. And this, the 14th Amendment, this was a continuation of that. All persons born or naturalized and subject to jurisdiction of the United States, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the states wherein they reside in the states. Now, the word person refers to, and there, when they were doing the 14th Amendment, you have in international law. So we're going to talk about the 14th Amendment, and this is chapter 6 of Moors and Masonry. Chapter 6 of Moors and Masonry. What I talk about is I talk about the 14th Amendment in the context of occupation. So you have an occupying force, a European occupational colonial government known throughout the world as United States of America, US, USA, and falsely known as America. So this European occupational colonial government is based in international, or using principles of international law on the occupation. So the 14th Amendment in international law, what they do is they conferred citizenship on us. In international law, there's 5 ways, there's 5 modes, what they call acquisition of nationality. And I'm going to break that down. All right? And the United Nations interchanged the word nationality and citizenship. Break that down. So they call it the 5 modes of acquisition of nationality in international law. And one of the modes is subjugation. So under subjugation, under the rules of subjugation in international law based on occupation, they confer citizenship on us. It means that you're assuming jurisdiction over a defeated, conquered, captured people by conferring citizenship on them, which is based in occupation, subjugation. That's what the 14th Amendment is in relationship to us. So they're maintaining captivity. They've done it in this slick way. So now you're looking at, so let's look at, so the word person in the 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States. So let's look at born in the United States. And what does that mean? Born in the United States. And we know, as I said before, United States is not a name of a place. So when you're saying that you were born in the United States, then you're subject to the jurisdiction of this occupation European colonial government. So under international law and conferring citizenship on us, they put you and they subjugate you in that way. This is all simple, and using languages in that Moorish territory where you guys are right now. So there's certain languages, so we have to not call the land don't refer to the land as the European colonies. So there's Edmonton. Edmonton is a non-for-profit corporation in that part of the Moorish territory where you guys are. You have Edmonton and Ontario, and all right, those are places. So when you say I lived in Edmonton, born in Edmonton, live in Ontario, born in Ontario, you're subject to the jurisdiction thereof of that non-for-profit corporation, not to be confused with the land.
Okay, question up, Brother Abdullah.
Talk to me.
With regard to the corporate jurisdictions versus the land,
Yes.
Now, Alberta, Edmonton,
Alberta is one of them.
right? Alberta, Edmonton. All these are Aboriginal names. Now, what they did over here is the same thing they did with replacing the name with the abbreviation. So for Alberta, they say AB instead of Alberta when they're referencing it. So is it the same still if we say?
All right. Now you want to go back to the original form of it, though.
Right,
You want to go back to the original form.
Right.
And you want to also keep in mind that there's a name of a corporation.
Yeah.
All right. So you got to make a distinction.
Right.
All right. So if you're going to use Edmonton for the name of the land, you have to make a distinction in your writs. Make a distinction that you're not referring to the corporation.
Right.
Don't assume anything.
Yeah, because usually when they're referring to, they would say city of or province of or state of, and then put the name. So
Right.
so would saying the name alone without state of or province of be the same as saying?
No, all right. No. All right. Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. All right. What I'm saying to you and your writs, you clarified it.
Okay.
You.
Right.
You don't leave anything to assumption.
Yeah, don't leave it to assumption. Right.
Don't leave it to assumption that you put Alberta or Edmonton and leave it like that. And if I just put Alberta, no. Don't leave anything to assumption. Spell everything out.
Right.
Say it. Put it out in writing. Not to be confused with the land. The private, non-for-profit corporation. Always the land. You got to state it.
Right.
Similar assumption is not good.
Right. So similar to if we're addressing somebody, we address them as the foreign, European,
Right.
whatever name
exactly.
is. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know it's a lot to write, but it's necessary.
Right.
Yeah, don't assume anything. I'm gonna put this here. No, don't just put anything there. Be specific, spell every damn thing out.
Right. All right, Mark.
Right?
Indeed.
Always make a distinction. The land, non-for-profit corporation. All right. So if you talk about, you have these substitute bays. All right. So these substitute bays in that part of the Moroccan Empire, you guys are Canaanland. There are substitute bays. All right. Substitute bays or substitute days. And what title do the substitute bays use? Over here they use governor. All right, which is the title for the substitute bays.
Right.
So there's 50 substitute bays in what they call the section of the Moroccan Empire that they call the United States. All right, there's 50 substitute bays. We have a few substitute bays who are actual bays, they're Moors, of Moorish descent.
Right.
All right. So they use these substitute bays, oversee the Moorish territory, that particular Moorish territory in a trusteeship capacity. And they use the title governor, but in actuality they're substitute bays. So there's substitute bays in Canaanland.
Yes,
What
premier.
does the substitute bays use?
Premier.
All right, premier. All right. Well, that would be the head, right?
Yeah, for a specific jurisdiction.
Yeah, for a specific jurisdiction.
Yeah. Premier.
They use premier.
Yeah.
All right, and premier means first.
Right.
Prime means first. All right. So they're not the premiers. You are. You're the premiers, or you're the bays. All right. So you're gonna have to, take that title, reclaim that title, bay/premier.
Right.
So you can put bay for your,
Right.
Right. So Cujo is a bay/premier.
Right.
All right. We're the sovereigns, y'all. We're the sovereigns. We're the bays/premiers. We're the bays and premiers. All right, all right, so we want to be clear that they are foreigners, and those are private corporations, not to be confused with the land.
Islam.
Right, Islam. And this concept has to be, your brothers and sisters have to understand this concept as you want to get this out to our brothers and sisters in that part of the Moroccan Empire. You guys have to have this concept. All right, they're foreigners, they're pilgrims. All right, so since I'm talking to all my brothers and sisters at Moroccan, I have to make the connection. All right, so keep in mind. So now looking at the impure divan, I'm going to extend it to where you guys are too. Right. That's the Moroccan Empire. The D-I-V-A-N, the Pure Divan. We're looking at the structure of the Moorish government. That's a council of the Moorish Council of Government. And in the Moorish Council, you have the Sultan, the Emir, you have days and days. So the Shriners, there's Shriners there. The Shrine uses that title, Divan, Pure Divan, for their structure, organizational structure. But that's usurpation. That doesn't belong to the Shrine. That's structure of the Moorish government, having nothing to do with the Shrine. So they usurped it. So we have to restore the Pure Divan. This is what you're doing, Cujo, is restoring the Pure Divan, the Moorish structure of the Moorish government, tied to the Moorish Moroccan Empire. So we're making the connection here. So and then they'll use titles like the Shrine uses the title Impure Potentate, which is the name of their highest officer, Pure Potentate. And you have the Royal Monarchs, which is the mystic order, the veiled prophets of the enchanted realm. They call it the grottos. They use your title, the title Royal Monarch. Then you have the 33rd degree and also the 32nd degree Scottish Rites Order. They use the title Sovereign Grand Commander. So the Sovereign Grand Commander and Pure Potentate and Royal Monarch are all connected to our title and Pure Moroccan Emperor. So what they did was they adopted that and they using it in an organizational structure. So what I'm doing with Moors and Masonry is restoring its true meaning and restoring the structure of the Moorish government. So they adopted these titles. So we think it belongs to the Shrine, or the grottos, or the 33rd degrees.
Let me ask you a question. So all the so-called Black Masons,
yes,
right? If they would nationalize,
yes,
they can pretty much just reclaim where they're at, yes, and start inside the lodges that they're at right now.
Yes, yes, yes. That's why I put out the Masonic Gate. That's the reason why I put out the Masonic Gate. So I would like, we can set up where you find out a place where we get the paper printed. Get a call.
Yeah, we got a spot already. Yeah,
we got a spot.
Yeah.
Of course, you got a paper. Yeah. All right. No, but I'm saying you could print the same issue.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to talk about that.
Right.
So you just take, you just print the same issue, and you can print all 3 issues.
Yeah.
Print the back issues too.
Right.
Hey. Pretty much changing the date, whatever you want to do with it. Whatever you want to do with it, brother, you do your thing.
All
right? Do your thing with it. All right? And then, of course, I'm going to have to ship books to you as well. I have to probably ship a couple hundred books to you. Right? Moors and Masonry. And then, of course, my other books. What I decided to do was separate the 5 books into 5 chapters to 5 separate books.
Right.
The first book, Moors and Masonry, being out in June or July. All right? So, now, in chapter 3 of my book, Moors and Masonry, I do a comparative analysis. I show the English colonies, the time period of the formation of the English colonies, and the Moroccan emperor who was in power at the time of, for example, the English colony called Virginia. So at the time that was being formed, what was taking place between our Sultan at that's Al-Malik. Al-Malik was the Emperor of Morocco, of His Pure Majesty, Royal Monarch, Sovereign Grand Commander, all right, Pure Potentate, same thing, and Queen Elizabeth. This was in the late 1570s. In the 1570s, Al-Malik was our Pure Majesty, Royal Monarch, and he was negotiating treaty agreements with Queen Elizabeth. That he was in power during the time period of the first English colony. So I showed this comparison here of the English colonies, what ruler was in position at the time period, after Queen Elizabeth, we had James the First, and then Charles the First. All right, and then you have particular emperors that were in power during that time period. So I actually show that. And what I'm doing is showing that during that time period of the so-called transatlantic slave trade between the 15 and 1800s, these European powers were paying annual tribute to the Moors. They were paying annual tribute. They were tribute treaties. It was negotiated that France, England, and the Netherlands, after those treaties, were negotiating those tribute treaties. And the tribute treaties were that they were for protection. So the tribute treaties protected the English colonies, protected the French colonies, protected the Dutch colonies. In 1777, His Imperial Majesty, Royal Monarch, Sovereign Grand Commander, Imperial Potentate, see what I'm doing? I'm using those titles in the proper perspective. I'm taking it from the lodges and putting them in the proper perspective. These are for my brothers and sisters who are in the lodges. All right? So here's Imperial, here's Royal Monarch, Sovereign Grand Commander. We negotiated these treaties. So in 1777, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the same emperor who wrote George Washington wrote, and said on December 1st, 1789, he recognized the United States with some, European occupational government. Prior to that, prior to 1777, the treaties between England and Morocco protected the English colonies. In 1777, the English colonies were no longer under protection of the English crown. So in 1777, His Imperial Majesty recognized the United States. So it continued here. Now, the tribute treaties didn't stop. As England was paying annual tribute to us, now this occupational colonial government had to pay tribute to us. And that tribute continued. The negotiation took place for a period of 10 years. That Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 was a monumentous task for the Europeans. It was like, wow, man, we would be trying to gain a permanent negotiation, a lasting, permanent treaty with Morocco, and we could not keep up with the annual tribute payments. So we finally got a solid agreement in place called the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, which was signed by our Royal Monarch, Sovereign Grand Commander, His Imperial Potentate, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, in June 1786. That treaty was a huge accomplishment, not for us, for them. For them. Why? We weren't writing them. His Imperial Majesty was not writing them to negotiate a treaty of peace and friendship. We weren't writing them to negotiate a treaty of amity and commerce. They were writing us because we were in position of power. We weren't paying annual tribute to them. They were paying annual tribute to us. Now that treaty is important to us. Because what? It's reversed now. We're paying what? Tribute to them. Taxes, tribute, taxes. As we tax them, they're now what? Taxing us. So the taxes is a tribute payment. Pay the tributes, you get arrested. If you don't pay the tributes, we're going to arrest you. Don't pay the taxes, we're going to arrest you. Don't pay your taxes, we're going to arrest you. What did we do? If they didn't pay the tributes, what? We would seize their ships, seize them anyway. We held them for ransom. Yeah. We're going to put them in prison. And what? Bail, ransom. Ransom payment, bro. So what I'm doing is I'm paralleling the language because we have to analyze it in the context of its historical context. See, once you take it out of the historical context, it's distorted. We're in the Moroccan Empire. We're in the Moroccan Empire. They're European powers. That has not changed. What the issue is that we don't know who we are. They know who we are. We don't know who we are. We look at that, they don't like us because of, and this man got control of our land. This man using our titles, the pure potentate, and sovereign grand commander, royal monarch, noble, free white person, white people, American. I mean, they got control of our government. And we keep calling them government. No, you're the government. We're the sovereigns. They're what? A European occupational colonial government. So the Canadian government is what? A European occupational colonial government and not the government. And not the government. The government is Morocco, which is the soft power and authority. White man, noble, freeholder, sovereign grand commander, American. So that's what the Canadian government is, a European occupational colonial government. As the United States, USA, United States of America, US, is a European occupational colonial government, and not to be confused with the land. They're not the government. So never from this day forth, never refer to them as the government, as the European occupational colonial government. The name has got to change. It does matter. Big time. We got to change the name, and the change of the name represents change of mentality. Therefore, a change in action and how you view them. We keep viewing them as the government. Therefore, you're saying that you're viewing them as the sovereigns, white people, nobles and freeholders and all. Please, we're the sovereigns. So this is the Moroccan Empire. So what we're doing is we came with Juali in 1913 and establishing the old Canaanite temple. He was what? Restoring the Moroccan Empire. This is the restoration of the Moroccan Empire. The once mighty, powerful Moroccan Empire that's been defeated. So now the descendants of the Moroccan Empire, descendants of the Moors, are now what? Classified as Negro, colored, black, with Jones and Johnson, and the United States Census Bureau and other documents or legislation in that part of the Moroccan Empire. Yeah, black Canadians. Black Canadians. No, they're Moroccans. Not black, no Moroccans. All right? So keep in mind, so this treaty plays a huge role. It's the longest lasting standing treaty in the world. Unbroken treaty. And still in force. The problem is that it's one-sided. Though the other party doesn't know that he or she's a party to it, the other party thinks there's Negro, colored, black. The other party thinks they came on ship somewhere. It's still in force, but it's dormant now. So Juali came to what? Activate it. How you activate it? Restore the consciousness of the people. Teach them the truth about their nationality and birthright. It ain't starting no government. Juali didn't come to start no government. To what? Restore. To reclaim. To restore the sovereignty to us. So right now, Moorish sovereignty is being exercised by European colonial governments. Canadian government and United States are exercising Moorish sovereignty and control vast parts of the Moroccan Empire and using black to what? Disguise the fact that they're practicing commerce and human trafficking. The word race in 1508, raza, the Spanish word, R-A-Z-A, was used for horses and dogs. So they what? Race human commerce and human trafficking has been misrepresented as race. What is your race? Oh, I'm not a, hold on, let me see, hold on. I didn't know I was a dog. I didn't know I was a horse. Dude, what you talking about? You should ask me what my race is. I didn't know I was a dog or a horse. I'm a human. Oh, what my nationality is. See? They're disguising commerce and human trafficking as race. The nationality laws, the United States nationality laws, the Nationality Act, or clause in the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 is the nationalization clause. Today, they use the 14th Amendment to govern nationalization, which is what? Commerce and human trafficking. The Commerce Department, nationalization falls under the Commerce Department. The census, this is also in that Moroccan Empire. The census is in the Commerce Department. So what department is the census in over there? When they do the census every year, every 10 years, what department?
I believe it's Service Canada, I think.
Service
That department?
Cujo.
Not bureau. What department? What's the overall department?
Is there something called that though?
That relates to commerce?
Yeah, there's a vital statistics department.
Is that a commercial department, commerce department? To find out
Okay.
find out what laws govern that.
Right.
Yeah, what laws govern that? What is the commercial laws that govern that?
Well, it's an act.
I'll look into it.
Well, more than likely because a lot of the governance over here comes from acts.
So statistics.
Like there's no real governing here on that level.
All right, I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna look at that. Since I'm doing that, I need to look into that to see what laws that they're using or what color laws they're using to govern vital statistics.
Yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying? What you want to be specific? Be specific.
Yeah.
Say because you know what. So you're saying the Office of Vital Statistics is it might not be a department though. It may not be a department. It may be just a bureau.
Right. All
right.
Because
so
every province would have their own that deal. You know, just like every state has their own.
Right, but there's a national. We have the national. We have the national, and then of course, exactly.
Right.
But we talk about from the national side.
Yeah.
We have the national side, and then they have the census there. Don't they do the census?
I haven't done a census in a while.
No, not you. Not you.
No, I mean just
not you.
like,
There's a census given out.
Yeah, there is one given out. Yeah.
All right. That's right. There we go.
There is one given out.
What department did that come out of?
Statistics Canada.
Statistics Canada.
All right, Statistics Canada. I like to see that.
Yeah, Statistics Canada.
I did see statistics on my own a couple weeks ago. Statistics Canada.
Yeah.
All right, so let me see. Statistics. Somebody look that up for me. Statistics Canada. All right, here we go. Stats. Statistics Canada, National Statistics. All right, Statistics Canada. See. Manufacturing sales rules. They have income, agriculture. See, they put it on the agriculture. See, this is right. I bet you it's on the commerce, bro. I bet you. There's a saying, but I want to be able to, clear on it. As put in there is there shall continue to be a statistics bureau under the minister to be known as Statistics Canada. Put in Google Commerce and Statistics Canada. Something, yeah, Commerce and Statistics Canada. And Commerce.
Commerce and Statistics Canada.
Yeah, I'm trying to get what laws that, because it has to be governed by some body of laws. You know, it doesn't just exist.
No, well, see, that's the thing with up here. A lot of things just exist. Like
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's just I said
Commerce and
no,
Statistics Canada.
they're using some in the Canadian Constitution. There are clauses. There's a commerce clause.
Right.
The commerce clause in the Canadian Constitution. There's a nationalization clause in the Canadian Constitution. All right. So we want to look at. What I want you to do is find out. Here we go. Find out what.
Oh, here it is.
How was that department created? How was that department created? What is that?
You have to touch on the blue part, and then you see if it's still.
Because see what? Because as far from the historical, the setting up of Canada, it came about from Canada agreeing to be down with the Union.
I understand all that.
Right.
I'm just talking about what laws are they using? What clause are they using? What is it? Commercial code? I'll find out. And I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna find out. It's just because of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I know what to do. I'm gonna find it out. All right. So we got to be looking at just like we have down today. You have naturalization laws that are governed under the Commerce Clause.
Right.
You want to what clause they're using to govern, or what clause
You want to go back? You just close.
in the Constitution of Canada? How was that particular department created? Out of what laws? Or out of what clause? You can find the answer, because
I'll check it out.
This is worldwide, bro. I go anywhere, go to Japan, no matter. This is worldwide, bro. We just talk dealing with Canada right now. This is worldwide. You know, it is not different than other. It is you understand the concept of government. You can go anywhere and be able to, navigate. Not because you want to get no. It's not because, but that's Canada. No, that's not how it operates.
May I interject?
Sure, go ahead, sis.
That's all right.
You might be able to
So,
if you put in title.
So I want to, so what I do is strengthen our understanding here of the Moroccan Empire and how we can connect with Masonry to stars and begin to use these titles, Imperial Potentate, Sovereign Grand Commander, and Royal Monarch in a proper sense. That will in turn allow you to reach out to the Masonry to stars. More you know.
Right.
All right? You will know more than them because they don't know much anyway. Yeah. All right? The more you can make the connection for them, the better you're able to bring them in.
Bring them in, right.
Right. Yeah. Because what I'm doing is you want to be able to make the connection to what you're doing.
Right.
You don't want to say, well, that's their thing. All right, no, that's your thing.
Yeah.
No, that's your thing.
Right.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is reclaim Masonry. Mm-hmm. You just like at Masonic Gate. Masonic Gate's going to help you do that. Reclaim Masonry. This is how you're going to bring them home.
Yeah.
Reclaim that composite square. Reclaim that apron, the gavel, all that. Start using that language. Royal Monarch, Sovereign Grand Commander. This is how you will get their attention. Because they recognize those titles, but they recognize it as a function in the lodge. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about its function in the Moroccan government. That's what I'm talking about. So the function in the Moroccan government is that it is the pure majesty. It's the emperor's title. So they just what? They just separate it sovereign grand commander, royal monarch, and pure potentate. But it all ties to the emperor's position and authority. Now let's talk. Now we're looking at the three branches of government. I mean, talk about the three branches of government came out of the imperial structure, and the imperial monarchical structure. There aren't three branches. The imperial monarchical structure, you have that one branch, and the sovereign power is in a monarchical structure. So what happened was, what we did was because the Moroccan Empire, to weaken the power, or what they call separate the powers, we created the three branches of government. It's still Moroccan, it's still a Moorish government. Still a Moorish government. It's just been broken up into three branches: the legislative branch, executive branch, and judicial branch. Whereas before you had a imperial monarchical structure, and all those branches it was into one. So this is where you went from a Moroccan imperial monarchical structure to a republican form of government. It's still a Moorish government. It's the same government. It's the same government, but the structure is different. From a monarchical imperial structure to a republican form of government. The republican form of government, separation of powers came about because to weaken the monarchical structure, whereby one person or natural person would not have all the power, we separated them to three branches: legislative, executive, judicial branch. So we went from a imperial monarchical structure to a republic. From the Moorish imperial monarchical structure to the Moorish republic. And then the Moorish republic has been overthrown by foreigners who purport democracy.
Right.
They're traitors. They've committed treason. So the democracy came about in 1871 with the incorporation of Georgetown, and also the corporation was established. The United States Corporation being established in 1871, they called it District of Columbia, 1871. So this is where you have the democracy, but it came about through the Civil War period. The purpose of the Civil War was to dismantle the Republican forms of government in all the states, or provinces. And this is the purpose behind the Civil War, was the dismantling the Republican. So looking at the Civil War from 1861 to 1865, and then in 1871 was what? The establishment of the District of Columbia. The District of Columbia is the federal zone or the democracy.
Right.
So this same concept takes place in what they, that Moorish province is there too.
Well, Canada is part of that jurisdiction of Washington D.C.
There you go. This is why we gotta make. This is why I'm making the connection.
Yeah.
It's not. It ain't there and here. It's not a difference.
It's not. Yeah. There's no difference. This is an extension of there.
Exactly.
Right.
And the Moroccan Empire extends there.
Right.
All right. So that's why we need to. That's why we're working together.
Right.
Right. So there's certain things we need to find out. The Vital Statistics Service, so Statistics Canada, and what laws go, we need to find that out. And I will bet you that's Commerce. And to the Commerce Department, that the Vital Statistics is actually Commerce.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna find out. I'll find out. All right. Yeah. So that's very key. Look at that. An hour. We're looking at. How much time here? How many time we going?
Yeah, we got we voted for 140. So far.
I see. All right.
So we got some time still.
No problem. All right. Any questions before I go on?
Just quickly.
All right. Then I got another subject matter. You got a question? All right.
Yes, peace, fam.
Peace, fam.
Okay. You mentioned in regards to not calling ourselves black. And when we're teaching and we go to the dictionary and we bring out that word black, etymologically, adjective, dead, stained, soil, all the dirty things that goes with the word black. Now, they're going to say, well, I'm African American, or I am African Canadian, or They're going to do everything in their power not to say that they're Moors.
All right.
Now, the word African American, in terms of jurisdiction, could you break that down a little bit more?
Well, let me address this first.
Go ahead.
What are they classified as? Not what they say. All right, see, all right. Don't get caught up with what they say.
What they say, okay.
What are they classified as at the job? What are they classified as in the Vital Statistics Service? Statistic Canada.
Black.
Yes, black. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's stay focused on that. No, I'm keeping it real.
No, it's
all right, what I'm saying is, you gonna get caught up with that this ain't African American, but they're not classified as African American. Am I correct?
I see where you're going.
All right.
Yes.
So, do they check at the job when you work? Did you check black off or African American? Did they have African American as a check-off box?
No.
What they have? What they have, bro?
It's black.
Thank you. But I mean, what point I'm making is, bro, we don't want to get caught with spurious arguments. You know, let's still caught up with what the facts are. The fact is that they're classified as black. So if they think they were African American, then that's it. We go. We got them. We got them, bro. Oh, wow. You said African American. Did you check that off at your job? Did you check African American off at your job? Did you write in African American at your job? Did you write in African American at the school you went? When you registered your child at school, did you check off African American or write in African American? No, but they didn't have it. Whoa. Well, you say you're African American. So why would you check black off if you say that you're African American? Why would you check black off?
Right.
You understand my point?
I see.
I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to solidify your argument. You get caught up with spurious argument that they're not even checking African American off.
Yeah.
Stay there on that. What did they check off?
Black. Okay.
Thank you. Even on forms here, they just don't put African American, but they check black off. They don't really push that. Brother, I taught nationality to over 5,000 students in Kansas City Public School, right? They only say African American once you challenge them on black. They don't go around saying African American. Yeah, but they say black all day long. It's only when you start challenging on it, oh yeah, African American. See, they switch up. Whoa. But they ain't pushing no African American. Am I right or wrong, bro?
You're right.
What they say? They say black Canadians. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Well, let's stay there then. Let's give you another way. That's my position on it. Just trying to strengthen, what you, so you can really deal with them. But let's deal with the facts of what it is. They ain't checking black African American off, and that's a fact.
It's not on there.
There you go. I think that was out there right, brother.
Yeah.
I'm saying that right there. That how you get that will strengthen your position. They were what is, not what they're saying. I give a rat's ass. Not what they're saying, but they check off. So they're classified as black. They walk around talking about black Canadians. Yeah. See? They don't even object to that. So when you say you African American, why you accepting black Canadian then? Just something to think about.
Yeah. I got you.
All right. Another question?
Anybody else? Go ahead, Mark.
All right. And now let me, now this is gonna help you out too, y'all. Just solely and just sanguinis. This ties into what we're doing right here. Just solely and just sanguinis. Now, United Nations uses nationality and citizenship interchangeably. It's usurpation, y'all. Nationality, excuse me, nationality is based in blood. Write this down, y'all. Y'all got pen, paper, all that? Please write this down. Oh, I'll wait a few seconds so y'all can get your pens out. Because I want y'all to just solely, J-U-S, it's a term, J-U-S, all right, it's one word, and then solely, S-O-L-I. And then you have just sanguinis, J-U-S, then you have another word, sanguinis, S-A-N-G-U-I-N-I-S. So that's what's called a term. United Nations uses nationality and citizenship interchangeably, which is usurpation. Nationality is based in blood, biology, and genetics, and not politics. Citizenship is a political construct. Citizenship is a political construct. Nationality is not. So to interchange citizenship and nationality as though they are the same meaning, as though you can replace one with another. That's what the United Nations does. It's usurpation. I need to go back to, all right. In 1913, Germany and their citizenship laws, actually the nationality laws, and they refer to citizenship laws, they use the principle of just sanguinis, which means blood. It's just inherited. So just solely is birthplace. Just sanguinis is blood. Nationality is determined by consanguinity, ancestry, lineage, blood, genealogy, national origin, descent, ancestry, pedigree, and parentage. That's why nationality. The nationality is not determined where you're born. So the United Nations is based on occupation. What they're using is occupation and subjugation. And using just sanguinis. Just sanguinis is superior protection. See, just solely, just if you using that just solely, when you're talking about birthplace, nationality is not determined by where you're born. So this, for example, you have an English couple who relocates from England to China. And while living in China for, say, a period of 20 years, they're in China for 20 years, and they have 3 children while living in China. Based on the Chinese naturalization laws, where Chinese would have just solely incorporated in nationality laws, or citizenship laws. So the just solely that the English couple children, based on the just so principles that are incorporated in Chinese the citizenship laws, those children born of 2 English parents, all right, become Chinese citizens automatically by the virtue of that being born in China. They automatically become Chinese citizens based on the Chinese citizenship laws, or the Chinese have just solely, all right, Chinese citizens. Now, why wouldn't they be Chinese? They were born in China. Why wouldn't they be Chinese? Remember that the mother's English and the father's English. The mother's English, mother's English and the father's English. So you have the mother is of English descent, and the father is of English descent. They have 3 children while living in China, Why would the children be Chinese?
Because they're
I just want
nationality.
to answer that.
Nationality.
Why would the children be Chinese?
Because of their.
What does it mean to be Chinese?
You're Asians. You're a national of China. Or that jurisdiction.
So that they're Chinese by what? Descent.
Right.
Blood.
Right.
So those children, those 3 children, whose mother is English and whose father is English, they would not be Chinese. Why?
Because of heritage.
It's not their blood.
Because their parents are English, so therefore they're English.
Indeed.
Not because they were born in China, they will be Chinese citizens based on just solely principles that are in the Chinese citizenship law. So what the United Nations has done was interchange nationality and citizenship, right? To usurp. It's not done accidentally. So we're reading these international laws, but we're reading them connotatively. That's the problem. What etymology does, it makes you more discernible. Where you can discern this corruption, usurpation, distortion. So they distorted the meaning of nationality. They suppressed its consanguinity, biological, genetics, blood meaning. So they're talking about, nationality determined by just solely. No, nationality is not just solely. Nationality is based in just sanguines and not determined by where you're born. So you don't become a Chinese by being born in China. You can become a Chinese citizen. And these these concepts they're usurping. Question, sister.
Yes, let me digress for a second here.
Yes.
So are you telling me, right, so I've been sitting here listening to you for about maybe half an hour now, and from what I've gathered here, you're telling me that this is a global attack?
Yes. Yes, it's called European colonization. Worldwide. And the there's 3, you have what's called the eradication of colonialism. The decade is 3 of them. We're in the 3rd decade. The 3rd decade of eradication of colonialism. It's a 10-year period. And so this is the third eradication of colonialism. That's worldwide. So this is a global effect. They're using trickery. They're using distortion of language to main occupation of colonialism worldwide. So just solely, so what they've done was they interchanged nationality and citizenship. What they've done was they've classified nationality as a political construct. Nationality is not a political construct. Nationality is based in biology, genetics, and blood. It has nothing to do with politics. It has everything to do with blood, genetics, and biology. Citizenship is a political construct.
You know what I think would help make that concept a little more clear? There's this book that I found that they were throwing out of the library.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Crimes of Color. And it's basically going around trying to explain how status is everything. And how they use status, right, and how race isn't actually real, to criminalize everybody who's non-Caucasian. And I think that's something that would help Canadians better understand the laws here. It's a little more practical for us, right? Because of construction between Canadian and U.S. law, right? Of how they try and make the two look separate, right? Which is what kind of leaves most people a little bit confused, I would have to say, especially if you don't have the background. You know what I mean?
All right, now.
Crimes of color.
All right. That will stay there, sister. Stay there. All right. What would help you is etymology.
Okay.
Etymology would help you. The word color means to hide or conceal. Color, to hide. C-O-L-E-R-E, which is the infinitive, is the second principal part of the verb. There's 4 principal parts of the verb in Latin. color is the second principal part of the verb. It's infinitive, means to hide or to conceal. So you talk about crimes of color, it's distortion. All right, so what they've done is that you don't want to have fixed in your mind that color is colored people. No, colored person or color of law is what's called artificial law, negative law, not colored people. All right, so whoever wrote that, they already know. See, what they did was that's the color, the title was color. Crimes of color. What they're trying to imply with the title is crimes against Moors who are classified as Negro, color, black. But the title, they need to say that then. Crimes against Moors, not crimes of color. When you say colored person, you mean say you're outside of the law. When you say if you say you're a colored person, that means you're not alive politically. You mean you're alive physically, because you're there breathing right now, but you're dead in the eyes of the law. You're in a state of simulated mutus. What I'm saying, it's applied there too, sister. This ain't just here. All right? So these concepts are there as well. So they will talk about the concept of just solely and just sanguineous. We're the Aboriginal desert people there as well. All right? So give me a question. You have a question. Please, help me out. Give me a question.
Yeah, keep going, sis. Don't worry. Ask me.
That's not me. I'm just going to take a seat in the back.
No, sure.
All right. Hey, Cujo, come Cujo, real quick. I want to make sure that the sister understood where I was coming from. Ask her, is she clear on what I'm saying? Because I don't want her just to walk.
Are you clear with what he said?
I don't want to just move on right now.
Yeah, because if you're not clear, don't worry. Come on, ask your question. Don't worry.
Yeah,
this is what we do. This is what we do. Don't worry.
We have
I don't want to shut the dialogue down.
Yeah.
Let's continue the dialogue.
He wants the dialogue. Don't worry. They're not taking up any time. Do your thing.
All I'm trying to say is it's trying to explain, how they use color to incriminate everybody who's non-Caucasian. So I just thought that would be a good book to add to the collection so you could better understand how they do it in Canada, right? Because they're focusing on Canadian laws and acts and the process in which how we got to this point.
But how is the author using color, sister? I should. That's why I wanted to continue the dialogue. Because I wasn't done. That's why I was done with you. So all right. So how is the author using color in the book?
I need a moment to think in order to articulate this properly to you, because otherwise it's just gonna.
No, please do your best, sister. Do your best. I mean, because this is important.
Okay. From what I've read thus far, okay. Basically, what they've done is they've assimilated. What it says is they've assimilated people, okay, and they put everybody in classifications, and they use color, all right, and as status, okay. And if you have the right color applied to you, then you have certain privileges, okay. But in doing so, you give up your so-called birthright, so to speak. So you can't practice certain things, or you shouldn't practice certain things, right? They're taboo. But I've noticed that they're making certain changes, which makes it kind of confusing.
All right. So I was correct. I was on the right track. I was on the right track. So once again, as I said before, we use etymology to define the word color. We got to first define the word. And then from the etymology, you would know that the definition that the author is using is distorted.
What's etymology?
See, because what he's doing with the author, he or she, has done was use color as an identity of a people based on their complexion. That if you don't have a certain complexion, all right, you don't have a certain status. You have a lower status because of the color of your complexion. Is that how he's using or she's using the word color? If you don't have a certain skin tone, all right, you have an inferior status.
Right.
Is that?
But it's also linked to cultural practices associated with those colors.
What do you mean with cultural practices?
Okay.
But
Mainly, they didn't get into African Americans, so to speak. Okay. They began with speaking about Aboriginals. Okay.
All right. Well, let's not focus on the cultural practice. Let's focus on identity first. I mean, let's deal with the identity part. I want to be clear as to how the author is using the word color. Is he using the word color to state that people with melanin, light, brown, dark melanin, are people of color because of that? Is he referring to that word color because of that? He's calling us color. I think that's how you were conveying. That's how he's using the word color. Because that's important, sister. That's important to know how he's using the word. What I'm doing is this. That's why I want to continue the dialogue, because this is going to help everybody. Everybody who's going to be listening to this, when they read a book like that, all the books who use that word color, our people think that color refers that we're colored people because of this. Not knowing the etymology of the word color, which means to hide or conceal, and that is a legal status, which means artificial, a color simulacrum, counterfeit.
Brother Abdullah,
Yes.
Could you do one more thing? Could you take one more step back and just explain etymology?
Isn't it to find the root
Yes.
word?
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Isn't it to find the root word?
Yeah, the root word, right.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. So we explain etymology.
Okay, right. So,
Right, let me guess.
right, okay.
Etymology, thank you, Kuja. That's why I love the brother. Etymology is the etym from a Greek word. It's a Greek word which means history, origin, true, and real. Log, which means word, theory, all right? Or study of. So etymology is the study of the history, origin, and true meaning of words. In the dictionary, it'd be in French dictionary, we have French etymological dictionaries, English etymological dictionaries, Hebrew, Latin etymological dictionaries, modern English dictionary, and so forth. And in dictionaries, you have what's called, let me show you.
Yes, they're using color to define people, okay? But what they're trying to show is how they're using colors to criminalize people.
All right. They're using the color of criminalizing people. What the criminalization takes place because they place you into what? A legal status as commerce. So when you say that you are a colored person, all right, what it does is makes you dead. You're dead in the eyes of the law, civil letter mutus. So you would be the criminalization because you're commerce. You become an artist, like this. Meaning it's the same category that's used to govern this. Pen, paper, cell phone, this will govern you. All right? So therefore you're outside of the law. Then they're practicing commerce and human trafficking. That's what takes place. We want to be up here specific as to what's taking place, because we have to be able to find things in the right manner in order to what? Empower ourselves. So the author is using color in its wrong, in a negative, distorted perspective. So before you go into reading any of the pages, sister, page 1. I mean, if you go read, if let's say the book is 500 pages, if you read a 500-page book and use the word color in a distorted sense, you're not empowered. You first start, the first thing you would do is look up the etymology of the word color. And then from there you say, oh, the author is using color in a distorted sense. This is usurpation. He's saying that we're colored based on our complexion. That has nothing. One, color means to hide or conceal. So color has nothing to do with what? Color green, color red. That's distorted. I know we use it like that, color red, green, but that's the distorted concept. See, when they say, well, man, Abdullah's like Kuja would say, Abdullah's a colorful character. All right. Well, he would use the word connotatively. You know, Abdullah's outgoing. All right. Abdullah, you know, is he's outgoing. Well, that's not what color means. I say, well, sister. I said, Cujo, the sister is a colorful is colorful character. With that, all right, means she's shy. All right. So by saying, oh, she's a colorful character, means she's shy, because color means to hide or conceal. So Abdullah Bey is not a colorful character because Abdullah Bey is not shy. So you would use that word to say shy, somebody who's inhibited, you know, who keeps their emotions aside, who's not outgoing. Because that means to hide or conceal. So you have a term called color of law, color of office, and color of authority. So color of law is what is called law that appears to be cool. I say, this is why I want to continue the dialogue, sister. You have, I say, you have artificial plan. All right? This is artificial plan. All right? And law, this will be called color. All right? Color of law. All right? Meaning that's not real. It's artificial. It's a simulacrum. It has an appearance of being real. But when it's examined under the real law, under jurisprudence, it lacks substance. So then you have a real plant. Real plant. Real plant. You got a real plant? All right, you have a real plant. Well, the real plant is not what? Made in a factory. An artificial plant is made in a factory. So this is governed by what? Commercial law. So a real plant is what? Tied what? To roots. All right? Tied to what? Roots. It has what? Roots. A genealogy. A lineage. It's natural.
Word.
So you tie that, so you have a color law. So then you put, it's what a category. You have what? Colored people. Not this. Meaning like George Bush, Al Gore, Hillary Clinton could color people. Meaning that they didn't act the law. So what I'm trying to get across to you, that it doesn't relate to complexion or skin tone. If you walk away after reading that book and you think it relates to skin tone and complexion, you haven't really learned much. That's what I'm getting at. We got it clear that it does not relate to the complexion, tone, or pigmentation. It's a status, meaning artificial status, not real. So you have real and artificial. That's color, artificial. Color, artificial plant, live plant, natural, organic. Inorganic or color, all right, organic, natural, real plant. All right? How's that?
Okay, that makes sense. So basically what you're saying is
what I did was
refer to people.
talk about the word. We're talking about one word now. And so how I flip one word for you clips everything else. Etymology, etymology, etymology. That's why I wanted to continue the dialogue. Focus on the word first. Don't get the word. Forget what's written in the book right now. The word. Got to start with that. Because that's why this is an important lesson. Because you want to apply this skill to everything you do. All the words. Because this is how Europeans are still not birthright. Just say you what that we don't even know. Let's deal with nationality. The word nationality. The word nationality, N-A-T, that's the Latin form. But it comes from the Greek, G-E-N, but the G-N was called a zero grade form, as in the word benign. Benign, M-G-B-E-N-I-G-N, malignant, M-A-L-I-G-N. The root word is G-N. It's called a zero grade form. I mean, it has no vowels. You have a zero grade and O grade. The O grade was a shift from A to O. All right? But the zero grade is where there's no vowels. So the GN are coming in from the Greek to the Latin, and Greek, it means source. So nationality means birth. No. Origin and source. So you go to the Greek to get the true sense of the word nationality, relating to origin and source, not where you're born. So they got the United Nations uses that definition of nationality about where you're born. It has nothing to do with where you're born. It has everything to do with blood, lineage, ancestry, national origin, descent. And if you were born in China, you still would be a Moor. If you were born in Iraq, you still would be a Moor. If you're born in Italy, you still be a Moor. Because it's not determined by where you're born. What they've done was they you call usurpation, the European occupation, and colonialism.
But Brother Abdullah.
So
Sorry.
what is
That's question.
so what is the correct term for somebody who so would the correct term be immigrant then? When it refers to, where you are.
No, immigrant, migrant means move. All right? I am was move into. Immigrant, out of. Migrant means move out of. Immigrant, move out of. All right? Immigrant, move into.
Okay.
I mean, they're foreigners.
So that's the term of that's the term of relocation. So in relation to what you said about the Europeans not being Chinese in regards to the children, all right, that would make them in the eyes of the law immigrants. As
All right. Well, no.
Under
Chinese law. All right. Under Chinese law, if China has a just solely in their citizenship laws, the children would not be immigrants; they will be Chinese, because the immigrant would not be classified as a Chinese citizen. The children would not be immigrants in China; they will be Chinese citizens, based on the just solely principles in the Chinese citizenship laws. They would not be Chinese, because the Chinese have the sovereign claim. So what I'm really getting at is their sovereignty. Who has the sovereign claim? Who has the superior claim? Who has the supreme authority claim to govern the affairs, the affairs, and also what? The wealth and land. So the just singleness is tied to sovereignty. That's what I'm getting at. So the Europeans usurping, so that the nationality. So when they interchange nationality and citizenship, they're usurping your sovereignty. And determine, how you gonna become, Chinese because you born in China, because of English parents. That's usurpation. Cut your head off. And they should. How'd I do, sister? I cleared up some stuff for you?
Yeah.
That's why I want to continue the dialogue. Because a lot of times, I'm not interested in trying to finish up what I got, all this. I got to make sure the points are clear. Why? Because a lot of people will have the same point you have. So, and I appreciate you coming back up here. I really appreciate that. Because you in turn will help a lot of other people. Because I'm not into trying to rush things through. Let's get all that. Let's clarify every point. All right? Thank you. That's why I look at questions.
Brother Abdullah, could you just elaborate on this definition that I'm about to read?
All right. Yeah, I know it. Go ahead.
Colored. By common usage in America, this term in such phrases as colored person, the colored race, colored men, and the like, is used to designate Negroes or persons of African race, including all persons of mixed blood descended from the Negro ancestry. But where a state constitution provided for separate schools for the white and colored races, the term white race was held to be limited to the Caucasian race, and the term colored races to embrace all other races. It has also been held that there is no legal technical signification to the phrase colored person, which the courts are bound judicially to know.
All right, good.
That was
All right,
colored.
all right, all right, good. Thank you for that. All of that definition is not false. All right, all of the definition is not false. Part of it is, all of it isn't. Read the first two sentences, lines again. So I'm gonna break it down. Go ahead.
By common usage in America, this term in such phrases as colored persons, the colored race, colored men, and the like is used to designate Negroes or persons of African race, including all persons of mixed blood descended from the Negro ancestry.
All right, stop there. That's why I say all of it is not. You gotta break it down. All of it is not false. Let me tell you what part's not false. When they say Negro, all right. When I said before, in Latin, the word black refers to what? In Spanish, in the Latin languages, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Italian, the word black refers to what? Things. Things. So Negro, Latin, black, refers to things. All right, so that would be color. So you say color, and then remember I said the word race? Raise up, in Spanish in 1508, what refers to what? Horses and dogs. So all of the definition isn't false. All right. Now when they say African race, so we gotta break down every word. That's what I'm saying. That I just can't cast away the whole definition and say, well, color has nothing to do with that. Oh yeah, yes it does. Negro does, because Negro is not a people. Negro referring to, as in the Latin languages, they use Negro to refer to things. And then in Latin, Spanish, and Portuguese language, and they use Morenos or derivation of Moor in those languages to refer to people. So just take me back to the conversation I had earlier. Now, so when you use the word race is tied to color, because race referred to animals, horse or dog. So what they've done was they misrepresented race or commerce and human trafficking as race. They're disguising human commerce and human trafficking under race. So color referring to that as well. So it's just it's going back to knowing etymology. And how am I breaking that definition down. Continue to read the third part, the third line.
But where a state constitution provided for separate schools for the white and colored races, the term white race was held to be limited to the Caucasian race, and the term colored race to embrace all other races.
All right, there we go. Now, once again, black and white are legal statuses, having nothing to do with race. We know color or complexion. Let me use complexion because I don't want to use the word color. Color means the height of the seal. White and black having nothing to do with complexion, skin complexion, or skin tone, or pigmentation, having everything to do with a legal status. White and black having nothing to do with race, because race is dogs. The word it basically ties to dogs and horses. All right. We talk about animals. White and black referring to legal status. Now, the word Caucasian was used in an anthropological sense first by Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, who lived in the 1700s, from the mid-1700s to the early 1800s. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, he was a German anthropologist, and he was the one that gave Caucasian, the word Caucasian, the modern definition that the world uses today, was developed by Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. This is etymology again, y'all. Understand, and semantics, how these modern definitions come about. So Johann Friedrich Blumenbach defined Caucasian as those inhabiting the Caucasus Mountain, but that definition came from him. So he was not the one. Now the white and black, white and Caucasian. Now Carl Linnaeus was a a Swedish naturalist. He came up with a official classification, beginning with the French doctor, Francois Bernier, Bernier, Francois, Francois, French doctor. And he was the one that came up with the classification of classifying the human family based on phenotype, skin tone, cranial size, and hair texture. It was the official classification was developed by Carl Linnaeus: white, black, red, and yellow. His protege, Johann Friedrich Bumbach, added the 5th class, brown. So this whole concept of referring to people as black, white, those are classifications that still our birthright. So black and white race, to use like that, it's not a race. There's no, see, the term black race and white race is a misnomer. Because race referring to animals. Whereas black and white are legal statuses. So where black is white is the superior or sovereign, and black is the inferior status. Well, like George Bush would be black, or Al Gore would be black, Hillary Clinton would be black. All right, why? Because they're not the sovereigns. They're foreigners. They're pilgrims. They are what? They are peasants. Now we're talking about nobility. Now let's talk about caste system. The caste system that we established. The highest would be white in the caste system, or the nobility. The nobility would be the white caste, all right, meaning the sovereigns, the nobility. The lowest would be the black, that's the peasant. That's been how Al Gore, Hillary Clinton, all right, George Bush, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, they're the black, the peasants. And so we gotta put it in its proper perspective. So they got us black and white. Black. Never refer to that. This whole concept of referring to black and white is that came from Carl Linnaeus, Francois Bernier, Johann Friedrich Bumbach. It's called usurpation, y'all. To understand the origin of these concepts and these definitions, these modern, distorted definitions. Because these definitions, they have an origin. Even connotative means they have a political motive.
Okay.
It's etymology, y'all.
Just as you said, political motive. Let me just read the last part.
Yes. There we go. Shall we break it down?
Right. It has also been held that there is no legal technical signification to the phrase "colored person," which the courts are bound judicially to know.
I don't know. No, there is a legal classification. Legal what? Legal
technical signification.
No, there is a legal technical classification or signification. Color means it's a legal term. So that's not correct, bro.
All right, so let me just go to color right now.
But I want to explain why. I just want to say it's not correct. I want to give you my reasons.
Right.
All right. Color is a legal term, so you can't say, it cannot be said that color person does not have a legal technical signification when color is a legal term.
Right.
You got the Blackstone Dictionary with you.
Right.
Color means to hide or conceal etymologically, and the legal meaning means a simulacrum, an apparent, an artificial, counterfeit. So it's a legal term. So you can't have a legal term and then use the legal term and say that doesn't have any legal technical. I just want y'all to walk with me.
Right.
I don't want y'all to agree with me because I'm saying it, but I'm giving you my logical reasons.
Right.
All right.
Let me put color out there just so it's out there. Color.
Yeah, please.
Color. This is Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. An appearance, semblance, or simulacrum, as distinguished from that which is real, a prima facie or apparent right, hence a deceptive appearance, a plausible assumed exterior, concealing a lack of reality, a disguise or pretext.
You hear that, sister? The sister in the back, you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's there. She's watching. She's listening.
All right, good. All right. Now, that's the legal definition. So you said proper to say it doesn't have any legal technical signification when the legal term exists in the definition. So you put now, let's look at it. Colored person. Here we go. So now that's a term, right? Colored person is a term. We person. Cujo. Now everybody's how we breaking it down, y'all? I'm showing you that it does have a legal technical signification. Because color is one term, one word, which is a legal term, and person is a legal term.
Person. A man considered according to the rank he holds in society, with all the right to which the place he holds entitles him, and the duties which it imposes. The word in its natural and usual signification includes women as well as men. The term may include artificial beings as corporations, territorial corporations, foreign corporations, under statutes forbidding the taking of property without due process of law and giving all persons the equal protection of laws.
All right. Now let's go back. Let's go back to Abraham Lincoln again. That just triggered a thought. Now Abraham Lincoln gave the states bonds, meaning that we were being governed as property. That you can't take property without just compensation and due process of law. So this whole freedom is boom. So the property was just being transferred. He gave them bonds. So they was just to transfer the property from the state into federal zone. So they created the federal zone in 1871. Our people are property this very day. And they have no idea. Even here and also where you are, property. And they use commerce. What they're doing is they are misrepresenting race. They are disguising human trafficking and commerce as race. So be careful with that word race, y'all. Human race, whatever, this color, whatever.
Can you look at the term employee, please?
Sis just wants me to look up employee.
Well, that's a legal. Yeah, there you go. That's a federal official. A judge is an employee. A judge is an employee. They're not going to give you that definition there, man. So that's
Mark.
They're not. That judge. You got to go to the public. You got to go to what's called the Public Salary Act, 1938 Public Salary Act. 1938 Public Salary Act. United States Public Salary Act, 1938.
Peace, Moore.
Peace.
Islam. I had a question here. Can you apply the divine side of everything that you talked about to this, in a sense? Can you give me the divine angle on this?
Yes. Well, I gave you talked about the divine angle earlier, but
actually, that was the astrology behind it, right?
That's divine, but I'm gonna clarify. Thank you. No problem.
Then you could sort of
and the Declaration of Independence. In the Declaration of Independence, there's a phrase called the laws of nature and nature's God. Right. Laws of nature and nature's God. You have the structure of government is based in the principles, or what's called the seven laws of Tahuti. You have cause and effect, mentalism, polarity, correspondence, gender, polarity, and these are what they call the laws of they call Hermes laws, or laws of Tahuti or Yahudi. The word Jew is derived from the word Tahuti. So we're Tahuti. Tahuti is a title. Tahuti is a title, a sovereign title that belongs to us. So the Nahuti deals with thought. Once again, we're looking at the activation of the pineal gland. So when you say you are Jew, when you're a Jew, that means you are illuminated. Like Jew would be like saying you're an Illuminati. Illuminati, Jew. Or deist, Illuminati, Jew, deist. They're all relative. And so we're looking at the activation of the pineal gland. And so we're looking at thought. So now your thought begins to amplify, all right, because your frequency has been raised. So now you can lift this bottle with your mind, all right, you can lift this phone with your mind, you can walk through walls, you can levitate, all right, so this dealing with, you can be a Lucy. The movie Lucy, the word Lucy means light, or illumination, or Illuminati, Jew, all right, deist. So I'm just placing things that you already know, placing that movie Lucy, all right, and how she was able to use 100% of her brain and look at the things that she was able to do. Now, of course, we think that that's a movie, make-believe movie. Well, no, that's real. And then you look in the movie, they'll say, well, the dolphin uses 30% of their brain capacity. Nothing beyond that. Morgan Freeman played that character, that scientist. Nothing beyond that. Well, and they said, well, humans use 10% and less than that. Well, that's a small percentage. You have 100%, right? Let's say you got a 10 on the test. Your children come home with a 10 on their test. You want to smack that behind. You smacking that behind, they come home with a 10 on the test. 10. So you're using less than 10% of your brain. Damn, that's poor. Well, what can we do? Look at what we can do. Look at what we can do with using 8 to 10% of our brain. Well, what can we do? We use 20%, 30, 40. And how do we activate those other brain channels to increase our brain capacity or use of our brain? So that science, that's why we have that all-seeing eye, because there's science that relates to that. There's a whole body of science that relates to how to activate. We talk about the divine side, how to activate the higher brain function. So the sovereignty, as Cujo was mentioning earlier, and when I was talking about the Illuminati, the mission of the mind, so the sovereign power, all right, that crown or Uranus, the sovereign power is also political as well as divine, is that you have what? Activating the higher function of your mind. You have what? Sovereign power or supreme power of your mind activity. So the divine side, and then you're also looking at the structure of government is patterned after the body. So they say what? Constitution. All right, what is your constitution, or what is your makeup? Your makeup, all right? What is your anatomy? And then you're looking at the military. Your white cells, white blood cells, are your natural defense system from foreign and domestic invaders. So you have these invaders, so your white blood cells, the military laws are patterned after what? The function of the white blood cells. So here's the divine and national side. We took nature's law and the laws of nature, observing nature, and the anatomy of our body. And we developed what? And also the womb of woman. And those principles that govern woman and nature. And we developed a system of government. As you have based on what? Universal law, or nature's law and nature's God. Mentalism, polarity, duality, cause and effect, correspondence. That's the divine and national side. There's a relationship there. There's not a separation. It's just the natural side is the application of the divine in government order, so that we can be in harmony with nature, so that we were using ephemerity, all right, and to know when to meet, when to have Congress, when knowing when to plant, or when to have children. So that the divine side, the divinity will govern every aspect of our lives. Every aspect of our lives. We will not do anything outside of laws of nature. Nature's law. Nature's God. That's the divine and national side. The national side is the application in civilization order to maintain, to what? Create, to establish, and maintain civilization. That clear enough for you, bro?
Islam.
Islam.
All right, Islam.
Anybody got any more questions? You got something?
All right. All right. Got a question, Kuja?
Just with regard to the Masonic structure, and our connection as far as the people who are involved in that. What do you expect from them getting the information that you're presenting, as far as, you know, people classified as Negro, black, colored, adopting what you're teaching about the origin of Masonry and the science behind it that we've kind of let the Europeans usurp and take hold of?
All right. All right. What I expect there is is the same reception I'm getting here. All right. I'm getting great reception. Like I said, brothers been calling me. These are high-ranking Masons. So I expect the same thing to happen there. I expect people to be calling you. All right. Or be calling me, emailing me. All right. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to give them a clear understanding of Masonry. We're going to be talking about the impure divan and what that really is and how it relates to us by birthright from a Moorish government structure. So they will see the power in it, and they will return me contacting us. Right. That's happening now. This is not something that I'm just coming out of my mouth. This is already happening. Before I put out my paper, I projected that. I'm saying that this is happening now. We're not talking about projection. We're talking about ongoing right
Manifestation,
now.
right.
Manifestation, thank you. We're talking about manifestation.
Right.
Before, 14 months ago was projection. That's 14 months later, not projection.
No. Do you think it's the or could you elaborate on whether it's the information that manifested, or was it your projection?
Both. Because you gotta project it, then you have to put in place. Yes, both. I'm confident, you already know, I'm confident in what I do, and what I've projected it was based on, confidence and, putting out there in the ethers, understanding, putting positive thoughts out into the ethers, and then what? Because you gotta do it too. You just can't just put out the thoughts and then not do anything. All right, you have to do it as well. So as I'm writing, and this is the doing, as I'm writing, I put that thought into my writing. Putting that positive energy into that writing. I'm projecting that into my writing. So that as they're reading my energy. Right? So they feel my energy as they're reading it. That's how it works. No different than the Europeans know that. This is why they create these connotated meanings, because now what? We feeling their energy. The connotated means their energy, not your ancestors. They ain't got a daggone thing to do with our ancestors. Those the connotated meanings. We didn't create the meanings. They did what? To usurp and restore our land and our birthright.
So okay, this question. So when the conscious community looks at the Moors, right? The Moorish paradigm, Moorish Americans exercising nationality, birthrights, etc., using etymology, dictionaries, and things of that nature, and say that we're taken from the European. In actuality, them calling themselves black and Negro and those colored terms is really working for the European.
Yes,
like they're the ones that are actually, like when they say black power, they're really pushing European supremacy.
Yes, they're pushing European supremacy. They're pushing commerce. They're pushing human trafficking and commerce. let's put it, commerce and human trafficking.
Right.
Commerce and human trafficking, yes.
I don't know if you have any, we're at 2:40 right now, so I don't know if you have any closing remarks, if you want to.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get some closing.
Yeah,
I want to thank
some
you.
stuff and plug your site and everything else.
My website,
Yeah.
I usually do that at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
My website is Moorish civil letter .net, MORISHCIVILETTER.net. Once again, MoorishCivilLetter.net, MoorishCivilLetter.net. My website, my email is etymology@gmail.com. Etymology, ETYMOLOGY, vocabulary@gmail.com. Phone number 215-300-5471. Right, so I got my book Mosi Masonry. I've been working hard on it, and I trust to have that done either June or July for sale. Been putting a lot of time in. I'm gonna kick my butt to get it done. All right, and I want to thank my family there in the Moroccan Empire, that part of the Moroccan Empire, and continue to work. We can do this. All right, we need to reach out to our Masonic brothers and sisters. All right, and we can do that. I understand that there's a large body of Masons and stars in that part of the Moroccan Empire. All right, so we're gonna need that. They have organization, they have institution, and we can connect to them.
Oh, question with regard to the Masonic family out here that aren't familiar with this information. Should we be approaching them for space to use their space at their lodges and things like that to do lectures and things like that, or?
Yes, because good question. Thank you for that. Because that would actually bring in the what's it called, network. We'd be networking with them. You at some point you want to be able to interface with them. So if you approach them in using their spaces, that's a great way in which you can build relationships.
Right. No,
so a lot of it's building relationships. We don't want to say, well, that's them people. That's those. No. We have to somehow bridge the gap.
Right.
And that's why I put out the Masonic Gate. And so I could have named it More Civil Letter, because that More Civil Letter I put out in 1995 as my newsletter and to a newspaper format and then to my website. But I didn't name it More Civil Letter because I wanted to reach out to a broader audience. Right. Beyond those who are already conscious. Right.
And what about because from my knowledge, I don't think there's quote unquote black lodges here. It's mainly Negro, black, colored people classified that attend the European structure. Like they don't have their own.
They don't have Prince Hall.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's what
I haven't seen any.
They do.
Yeah. Okay, I'm correct.
All right, so yeah, reach out to them. Talk to the brother. Get those locations.
Right. All right.
So we gotta be systematic about this.
Right.
Systematic, and then look to like you can print out one of my issues.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna
that's up to you.
Yeah,
what do you want to do with it?
All right.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, thank you again.
Yo, peace and love. Give thanks for everything. Yo, give it up for Brother Abdullah.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was good, fam. And we'll have it up for probably by tomorrow or something like that. So I'll send you the link when it's up.
All right. Thank you very much. Love you, bro.
Peace and love, bro. Peace. Yes. So that was day 3. Tomorrow we're gonna be going again. Day 4 with we have Brother Daweed tomorrow. Brother Daweed is one of the Moors that helped us establish. He's the one that got us our charter and got us in the motions of this information out here. This was 2008. So that should be another good information that's presented. We also have two more weeks left. So we have 2 more sessions here. We have three more sessions here, and then 1 more session in Scarborough, which is going to be on the 22nd. If you don't have, if you're not on the email list, make sure you talk to Brother Amari to get on the email list, so we can send you all the information with regard to what's going on and you know, whatever stuff that we're doing out here. I know we have some new people here. If there's any questions or anything like that with regard to the Moorish Science Temple, Nobu Ali, things like that.
How about they introduce themselves?
We could bring those stuff. We could bring those stuff up right now if you got any issues or anything like that. Peace, man.
I'm known as Donovan Bramwell.
Peace and love, fam.
Alright, okay. My main question is, you know, for the European societies to check how people not knowing how to read, like basically uneducated, which is you have a lot of people subconsciously know beyond reading words on a piece of paper what's going on and know who they are. Like, for instance, I'll use myself as an example. How do you get those people to actually reclaim their birthright successfully and like fully?
If you, well, a lot of the lessons that we present is to get people to have it here first before they have it on paper. So if you're already here and know who you are from this perspective, then the paper part's going to be easy, because you're automatically going to transfer what you have here onto the paper eventually. Like there's a brother, Tallahassee L. Bay, that he grew up in Nova Scotia, right? Illiterate, you know, anything as far as language, nothing like that. He came into this, and now he's reading better than people who got degrees and stuff like that. It's a process, you know what I mean? It's not going to be overnight.
Everything's a process.
Yeah, it's not going to be overnight, but brother was illiterate. And he's formulating sentences and writing writs and doing those things now.
Could I add to that?
When he didn't have that before. This information allowed him to open up his you know, even if you heard Kaba Hiawatha Kamin, Booker T. Coleman, right? He had a stuttering problem. You know, he started studying or whatever like that, stuttering, he stopped.
Because now his mind is
functioning
and
properly.
Whatever.
Right. Another thing too with people that are let's say illiterate, but people who don't have that, you know, don't have the faculties working properly.
Yeah.
Really, that's a benefit, because it means that you weren't tainted by these school systems out here that force you to assimilate your mind frame to what is out here. You know, because just for the simple fact that just like you're saying, your mind's free, you're not really tainted with what's going on out here. It's a lot easier for you to pick up the information, you know, even from a spiritual perspective.
So is it wrong for me, like, I basically didn't go to school because I didn't want to.
Right.
I didn't want to read nothing because I know everything is pretty much man-made, man-say. And I didn't want to fall in that fairy tale of too much, because from my knowledge, it's like, the more you read on what man does, the more you start losing from your path. Unless you're on the right path, like, well, the Moore brothers, like, I know should have been there from day one as a youth growing up.
Right. So the energy that you would have put in school that you didn't, because you knew that was brainwash or whatever like that, you put it in this now.
That's what I want to do.
You put that energy, because you know it's the path.
Yeah.
Then take it like it's the path. Take it like you're about to get your doctorate or something like that. Take it that serious. If you realize that it's the path. You know what I mean?
I realize that this path is my path, because to be honest with you, okay, me in person, I like to help. The way I want to help, I can't. I become a Moor, I can help more. I can go back and teach those
Right.
who
are less
fortunate than
Right.
myself.
Right.
Yo, this is how you can get back your birthright, get back your nationality,
Right.
to get more flock of people, more flock of whatever, to get back, our rights.
Right,
Who don't.
and if that's something that you've if that's a place that you've always been in your heart, always help people or whatever, then
I do that every day.
you've already been following the motto of the Moors of uplifting fallen humanity. So you're welcome home. Because you're here. Somebody at the
No,
door.
I was just in regards
No,
to.
Somebody at the door. Behind.
Okay. Knocking them out?
Oh no, I'm
Yeah, that
just
was up.
peeping. Oh.
Oh, yeah, you there? Yeah. Hey, listen,
Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments or anything?
Introduction.
Any testimonies? I know you got some.
Even this dyslexia, they train people to read the opposite when they're actually correct. Because we're reading right to left. No, left. Right to left.
Yeah,
So
right
left
to
to
left.
right. You know what I'm saying? So even though these so-called illnesses or defectiveness that they call it on, it's actually right. They just steering us into the wrong way, to confusion.
Right.
It's true. In the Middle East, we read from right to left.
Yeah,
We don't go
so
from
it's-
left to right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's
Everything.
Chinese, they
It's the
come
same
back,
thing with
come down, they-
yeah, like. but they're doing those stuff. But where they at in the world? They're running stuff. You know what I mean?
That's what they've been taught for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
Exactly.
of years.
It's their culture. That's what they do. When you embrace your culture, then the world opens up to you.
I went to Rom, the museum on Spadina.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this video, and they're showing the hieroglyphics in Africa. And it's like and the bird on the perch or whatever, and they kind of doing this, and I'm like, this is BS.
Yeah.
This is going this way.
Yeah. They're going to.
You know what I mean? So right then there, I'm like, okay, it's pure confusion.
Right.
Pure confusion.
And then that's even things that like, just like brother saying, people who have the knowledge, they know that they ain't read no hieroglyphics from left to right or whatever.
No.
You know what I mean? But it is the ROM, Royal Ontario Museum.
Yeah,
The perspective is gonna be European, so it's kind of expected that they're gonna do certain things. You know what I mean? And they'll let them do it because majority of people who are over here, they went to do their little naturalization, whatever, get their little benefits, so they'll back the fraud of Canada. You know what I mean? They'll fund it, okay? Because also too, they know that whatever they get here, they could take it back or they could leave it here, go back wherever they come from, wherever that. Whereas we're stuck here, we got to deal with this beast every day. We don't have a choice.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So we have to know how to
Slay the dragon.
slay the dragon. And we want to be able to look at our nieces, children, or whatever, and say, yeah, I got some slashes in on that beast when they grow up or whatever, because they're gonna ask. Young people are gonna ask when the system falls. They're gonna say, yo, what did you do to help slay this beast right here? And when you say you didn't do nothing, you're the new punk. Yeah, marching, dying in. You ought to be telling your children that, we laid in the street and stuff like that. We're marching, picketing, you know what I mean? That's how we slayed the beast. They're laughing. These youths nowadays, they got gats and stuff. They're not playing around.
That's just my dad.
Okay. Yeah, you were gonna say something before you.
No. Well, just more or less in regards to what the brother was and what you talk about with Tallahassee and with paperwork and knowing who you are. Like brother Tallahassee, you don't do paperwork.
Yeah.
He's when you see him, you're like, okay, that's a Moor, literally. You don't even have to worry about him saying anything out of line. He's a Moor, and that's how you have to walk with yourself as well too. When someone see you, they see you coming.
And I've been on the phone a couple times with him getting stopped and stuff like that, and he doesn't show them nothing, doesn't tell them nothing. He just tells them straight what it is, and most of the time they're like, you know what, just
forget it.
We don't want to deal with you right now. You know what I mean? And they go about their business just because he has it here first. And once you have it as a mindset that you know you're not a believer, You know what I mean?
So difficult. You just,
No, it's all good.
like a couple days ago, me and brother out here was back in Hamilton talking to a guy about the same thing, and he's telling me he read every book that he can possibly read on the Moor.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if you understand it, why you're not a Moor? Why you still on the
Right.
Babylon system?
Exactly.
Like, why don't you claim who you are? Still can't give me no answer, and it's giving me every other thing. Except for the one question I asked for.
Why aren't you a Moor?
Why aren't you a Moor?
Yeah. Right.
Me,
I mean, you know,
all the books, and here I can sit down and all the questions you ask, I answered, and I never read the book before because it come natural to me.
Right.
Things come natural to me. I never read no book before if you know I'm on the Babylon system.
Yeah.
I never go to no school. I hate school. I didn't want to read nothing.
Right.
I can just think like, yo, this is not fair. Like, how can we all be equal when you're rich, I'm poor, I'm suffering, you're eating big dinner, and I'm trying to get my dinner.
Yeah. Very strong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
How can
And
you
that's
be
that's
free?
and that's the reality.
How can you be free?
And I mean, I think you came in on the part when Brother Abdullah was talking about the divine. You know, that's divinity. You know what I mean? That's divinity talking through you without having the national perspective there, like intangible. You know what I mean? So, you know, like we're saying, for the real lesson is have it here first. Yeah, you could have papers, cards, whatever like that, but you know, if papers or cards burn up in the fire, we're gonna say we're not Moors because we can't go in our pocket and pull out a card. We're not Moors no more. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then you know, you might as well burn the stuff now.
The fire the nationality.
You know? Yeah, right. You know, right?
You know, I'm strong, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Anybody else?
Yeah, let me just call that back. Let me call that back. Do you want to mention just with Naboo's jewelry? I don't know, we're going to have probably...
Oh, we might get, yeah, for sure.
I'm going to get these
You can put it on
printed
there.
out. I talked to Mari, I'm going to print them out.
Right.
So we can just pass it around.
Yeah.
But there's some jewelry that Amor down in, I guess,
Philly, yeah.
Philly has created. A
Philadelphia.
lot of this sort of comes with the Kundalini energy. Some of us got it, I think, at the where were we that we got it?
Jewelry
Gate.
yeah.
A lot of us have some of them on us, but some of the bracelets and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get this printed out into like a
a little booklet or something
and then
like that.
the prices will be
And we can
there.
order.
And then what the deal is, he says if we get together and get an order in, that drops the price.
Right, get it in bulk.
So yeah, there's some rings and stuff that everyone's interested in. Some of these bracelets too.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
You have the sign-in sheet?
Yeah, it's
over there.
the book's going around somewhere. Anybody else got any questions or anything like that? Everybody good? I just remembered his face from
I'm actually just, I want to soak in the knowledge. Like, every time I listen to you guys speak, there's a whole bunch of things that you come up with.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yeah, for real. Peace. That's peace. That's peace. Sis?
Yeah.
Good?
It was okay.
All right. No worries.
Oh, you did it?
All right. Yeah.
We have here is Latino and...
Oh, yo, sorry. More, there's a lot more. Let's just pay attention. We're good?
Okay, now the reason why they're also considered Moors is because the Moorish are the original people, right?
Yeah,
In every gene, there's quote unquote, I'm gonna use the term that we know
Yeah,
today,
yeah,
black.
right,
That's why
yeah,
they're also here.
yeah,
Okay, so when Caucasians enter,
Pilgrims.
yeah.
pilgrims, sorry, correct myself.
It's all right. It's a process.
Is
See-
that not infiltration?
Well, let me put it like this. There's a brother that I know. From Greece. He was at my house last night actually, chilling, right? He's somebody who hasn't really been accepted by, you know, the quote unquote conscious community because he's Greek, right? But I'll make him watch my back before half of these black people out here. Because of his spirit. Because not every Moor is your brother, and not every European is your enemy.
Indeed.
And we have to toe the line sometimes, you know, because we get that. Like when they see Moors talking to Europeans on a brotherly level, majority of our people in the community are like, why are you talking as an enemy or whatever like that? But you know, he got dictionaries at his house. He got, you know, freaking bookshelves or whatever like that. He got, you know, Nefertiti carpet worth $1,000 at his house and stuff like that. While, you know, other people out here buying jackets and stuff like that. But they're conscious people. You know what I mean? So from a spiritual perspective, we can't outcast people because of complexion. Because just like we were saying, it's not about
complexion.
It's not about how they look.
Heritage. I know.
Yeah, no, yeah, but that's right. But again, if we go back to heritage, the first Greeks were Etruscans, which were our people, who people look like us. Like Greek wasn't founded by some Europeans. Yeah.
But it's also too because she's still beginning with this knowledge.
Yeah.
They are us.
Yeah.
They are us. That's the whole point too.
Actually, you were taking notes. You could write down Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett, Human Artificial. It's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, he's so there.
Bobby Hemmett, Human Artificial.
Well, you could also break down free white person, could Caucasian
oh, yeah.
there, right? So
do that too.
Give that some.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Because that doesn't bring them into our fold.
No, but in regards to stats.
Yeah, somebody just read that right there.
Free white persons referred to in naturalization. Act and amended by Act July 14th, 1870, as meaning naturally given to it when it was first used in the first state stat 103, section 3, meaning all persons belonging to the European races, then commonly counted as white and their descendants, including such descendants in other countries to which they have immigrated. It includes all European Jews, more or less mixed with people of
Celtic,
Scandinavian, Teutonic, Iberian, Latin, Greek, and Slavic descent. It includes Magyars, Lapps, and Finns, and Basques, and Albanians. It also includes the mixed Latin, Celtic Iberians, the Moorish inhabitants of Spain and Portugal, the mixed Greek, Latin, Phoenician, North African inhabitants of Sicily, and the mixed Slav and Tartar inhabitants of South. I can't read that word there. It does not mean Caucasian race, Aryan race, or Indo-European races.
Hold on, let's read that part again. It does not mean.
It does not. It does not mean Caucasian race, Aryan race, or Indo-European races.
Right. So this term, free white person, or white person, or white people, or whites, does not mean Caucasian race, Indo-European, whatever, because it's actually a status. It's not how those people look. And they have to be intermixed in order to be this. And what they have to be intermixed with is Moors or dark-skinned people. That's why National Geographic would come out with talk about Lucy, and first everybody comes from Africa and all that stuff, and they're not making the distinction that these people come over, these people, everybody comes from the same matriarchal, dark-skinned mother of the human family. So we're all really one, really and truly. There's not really a separation like that. The separation came in when, we as Moors took abuse of our power, started enslaving Europeans, and then, the tables turned, and now we're the ones in servitude now. I mean, we're the ones being we're the ones being abused, because you know there is such a thing as karmic debt. You do something, it's gonna come back on you. Right? And because of this fighting that was going on, that's where the whole thing with the Treaty of Peace and Friendship comes in, where the Moors and the Europeans came together, made the treaty, say that there's going to be, you know, peace in this land, there's not going to be any more whatever, and then they usurped that, made us be the black people, which is really them, like the brother was saying, and then they took the position of white people, which is the high status, and now they're trying to rule over us, but now we're coming back into knowledge of who we are, which is going to, you know, even stuff out, or pretty much, you know, get rid of them, because nature's now on against them as well. You know, because sun's only getting hotter. It's not getting, you know, it's not, you know, we can survive in whatever climate. They can't survive in the sun.
We're getting stronger too.
You know what I mean? And as you delve more into this information, you'll find out that they even knew about Moors, you know, all throughout European history. It's not even a secret about Moors. Like, they're fully aware. It's not, you know, like you might in your research find, you know, videos of people complaining about, you know, police did something to them, you know, because they're Moors, and, you know, all those things are just to get you to not be on this information, get you to think that, oh, if I'm a Moor, then stuff's gonna happen to me or whatever. I better not get down with this. As soon as you agree not to get down with this, you just allow them to continue being the white people and ruling over us. You know, like there's people, you know, majority of these Moors in here, they don't pay taxes out here. They go purchase stuff.
My concern is really the healthcare system, because they're making the majority of the people sick. And then as soon as they get put into the hospital, they either die or they get sicker until they die.
Right. And you know, that's what that was made for. That's a depopulation program. You know, get people not on the right diet, so they have to go in there. And just like saying, you know, cutting open and pills and whatever, that doesn't cure anything. That's gonna make you worse. Vaccines and all that stuff, that's not doing anything for humanity. But if humanity is stupid enough to go, then yeah, I guess it is what it is.
Well, you see, the thing is, I realized this a long time ago, so I made the change.
Right.
You know, to try and help my
Right.
family, but I can't afford it.
Yeah, it's coming back to the same thing. It's a thing that they control. You know what I mean? Like the holistic market, organic, whatever. That's not we don't have control over that. So it's gonna be $50 for a organic apple.
But it's a science though. Yeah, it's a science to go back to our natural selves.
Right, that too.
So it's not that expensive if you're looking at the face value, like, you know, if you're just looking at the money itself, you know.
Yeah, if you look at it from that perspective, but if you don't have it, what are you gonna do? Steal it?
No, but you gotta still network and build with other Moors that are doing it, so you could start businesses or whatever that needs to be.
I try not having these conversations, and maybe I'm speaking to the wrong people, but usually when I start to talk, they shut me down immediately. And then if it's not that, they go, "You're not even black, so what the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah. But you know, you're not black, your jacket's black, so you could tell them, yeah, thanks, I'm not black now, you know that they're the enemy. Leave those people alone, get down with your family, or get down with, you know, because there's even some Moors in, I think it's in Philly too, some Moors in Philly that connected with a European who has a farm, and he's like telling them, come on to the farm and you guys could have this acre or whatever and you could do whatever you want. The European. And then same thing, you know, the conscious black community, like, oh, why are those guys working with that guy? He's the enemy or whatever like that, but he's giving them whatever. And then when they go to them about, yeah, you know, we need to use your space for a lecture now, or we don't want to have your stuff here, and, you know, you can't come here because, you know, you don't like to say black and all that stuff. But Europeans assist them. You know, so you just, you know, you gotta pick your battles and.
I think
yeah, bro.
No, you were first.
Is that okay?
It's done no, fam. Well, when you're saying about like Europeans, not all, like they are. Sorry. Because I remember one of your lectures I was listening to online, and you were showing basically that how a lot of the so-called black leaders, they know about wars.
Yeah.
They know about what's really going on, right? But they're not saying it. They're not telling us.
Right.
They want us to continue being black because I guess they got their. I guess they sold.
Those are agents. Just understand, 100% for any one of those black leaders to have a platform like that, they have taken the payoff.
Yeah.
So don't.
They've already taken the
Don't
payoff.
think for any minute, for them to have gotten to that level, they've taken the payoff.
Yeah.
And that's why they have been allowed. And you can check this out. Anytime you see any of this stuff that goes on, when any of the black stuff go on, you'll see the same faces pop up who then start speaking for the so-called community.
Yeah.
And those guys are the agents.
It's like you know, we would wish that they would be like Castro and Bin Laden and them people. You know, work for them and then get whatever it is and then tell those guys and use whatever they got in order to help the people.
Yeah, because even I see the other day, Al Sharpton has like a.
There you go. You just
what do you call it?
mentioned
A show, like a daytime.
Yeah.
Like I mean.
Yeah, and he got the show because he's CIA.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know what I mean?
And the other part of your lecture where you also show that there's a lot of European families, or what do you want to call them, where they have their shields and stuff.
Yeah.
Where even though they probably they don't tell us either. But why didn't they change their shield that have black faces on them?
Yeah, they can't because it's not their shield.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly.
They don't have jurisdiction over the shield.
So basically, it's like if you really look past all the, you know what I mean? Look past all the stuff that's really they're trying to show you. If you look,
They're trying to show you something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're trying to show
You know, whereas the quote unquote black conscious community is going to talk about the Europeans hiding stuff, stole their stuff, all that. But you know, majority of Europeans out here, they know they're not in the dark.
Yeah,
they know that we're in the dark. We're the problem. They're not really the problem.
They're not going to tell you, okay, well, yeah, come take your word, right? Like they're waiting for us to come and take it.
Right. You know what I mean? But again, it's the thing like when we used to do Afrofest out here, right? As black guys, African whatever, you know, set up our table with black stuff or whatever like that. You know, it's just you know, some black guys products. You know, like all these other black guys out here. We start have fezzes on going out there. You got Hindu people running up. You know what I mean? Want to take pictures or whatever like that. Chinese people running up want to take pictures like that. Pakistani people want to take the fez off, try the fez on, take pictures and have conversations and you know what I mean? Europeans coming up, you know what I mean? Wow, I never had a conversation like this before with anybody who looked like you or whatever like that, blah blah, because they know that our people are warped in the head. And if our people continue in that position of not having knowledge, thinking that way everything comes from the European that's in a book, you know, because the European, somewhere your European invented books or something where they believe or whatever, so they're not going to read nothing, you know, because the white man made that up, when the Moors taught the European everything that they know. So anything that Europeans putting out, it's Moors that put them on. But they cast away all their stuff and then want to know why people are racist toward them, why people are prejudiced toward them, because you have no honor. You're gonna lie in the street before you go blow up some of these police stations or whatever, that's people killing you. You're gonna lie in the street. That's the option. You got all these guys out here, they could, you know, guy step on their shoe, kill a guy, but you know, police kill a guy, oh no, you know, we're gonna march and we're gonna lie down on the street or whatever like that. You're not gonna use all those gats that y'all gotta talk about in all them songs. You got gats and stuff like that. You're not gonna do nothing with all that stuff you got. Bazookas, llamas, you know what I mean? they got everything. They got everything.
That's not being yourself. That's imitating who they are.
No, but from the perspective of, they make the claim, kill the white man, kill the cracker. You know, European does something. Oh yeah, you know, we gotta defend our stuff and all that. But when get down comes to get down, they're not killing nobody. So that means that they're punks. And that's how the world's looking at them. The whole entire world is looking at the Negro, black, colored people in North America like, those guys are punks. Those guys are punks. Just do whatever you want. Go in their community, set up a store, make $1 billion, right? Put up 500 million churches, you know, in the same place where, you know, they've been living forever. Places have been abandoned. Some European come in there, build something, and now everybody's going to it now. Everybody's going to the supermarket now. But, you know, their brother who has West Indian store, they're not going to go to that. They complain, oh yeah, it's expensive, you know. How come stuff's so expensive? Juice is $2 in there or whatever. We can go to European right here and get juice for 50 cents. Are we going to go support our own brother? But, you know, Hindus, they go to their own. They don't care what the price is. They go to their own people.
They can afford it.
But us as, sorry to say, us as black people, as they say, are what we're known as.
Yeah.
Generally, it's like it's been imprinted in us to not be helpful against our own.
Right.
Like that's something that they like.
But by who?
By who? By Europeans.
No.
And by
yourself. That was by our people who sided with the Europeans. It's the European that told the brother, hey, beat him. European do nothing.
No, they didn't do nothing.
The European did nothing. It's our people.
Of course it's our people.
It was, you know, just like the brother said, Al Sharpton gonna go up there, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean, we need blah, 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 blah. When he's CIA, FBI, working for them. Was down with Martin's assassination, down with Malcolm's assassination, down with whoever, killing anybody who's trying to tell our people, lift yourself up, you know. Everybody else is doing for themselves. Why not? How come we're not doing for ourselves? And we take the position of, yeah, you know, why are we doing for ourselves? Well, yeah, the European did this to us, the European did that, and whatever, when the European's not the issue. The real issue is our own.
And then you can always as a person. The real issue is you yourself as a person.
Yeah, that those individuals who took the position of, you know, like when El Hajj, right? When Malcolm was doing his whatever, he had issues with NOI or whatever, and they're trying to tell him, you know, take the check, bro. Take the check. He's like, I ain't taking no check. So whatever, like, you gotta do help the people or whatever. You know, take the check. All these guys coming around, everybody got their, you know what I mean? Balling, new suit every week. You know what I mean? Who do you think? You think it was Klansmen that was bombing his house and stuff like that? There was no Klansmen bombing his house. That was NOI people. His own. And then that's why he stepped off and said, forget those guys, I'm gonna do my own thing over here. And then his problem was that he kept on doing that crap about honors to Elijah Muhammad, you know, he gave me all the knowledge or whatever like that, which means that he still had a tie. Even though he stepped away, he was still tied to them. Which gave them authority to walk up in his stuff and shoot him at the podium in front of his family and all that stuff. Which again comes back to our own people. Those individuals not recognizing that, really gonna go kill this brother? Right? You never thought and started about, hold on a second. These guys want us to kill El Hajj. You know what I mean? They want us to go kill this guy. Just for some papers, stacks or whatever. No, everybody's gonna pay for their whatever that they do. It might not be on this plane, but once you go against divine order, you're gonna pay for something. Guaranteed. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. And we want, and our thing is to get our people to the level where they don't keep getting karmic stuff coming at them. Because majority of the stuff that we get is because we identify ourselves as black people. Which when you look it up, everything negative, gloomy, and whatever, all this stuff, death, all these things, but we call ourselves that. And we call our community that. And then we call our consciousness that. And then we call this that. And we call that that. We try to identify with that. Even though we know that nothing positive comes out of us, you know what I mean? Nothing positive has come out of us being black yet. Nobody can show me anything documented, hard fact, that calling ourselves black gave us something that we can be proud of. But they're going to continue on in that. So it's okay. You know, that's why, you know, we say doors open, right? People will come in here if they want this. You know, chase people because we know that half the people out there, you know, Drew Ali even told the Moors, you know, it's only going to be a handful saved. And I'm going to have fingers left over. So not too many people are going to be down with this. One, because they're stacked with fear up to here. You know what I mean? They are not going to go face this European face to face. You know, they're not going to accept the fact that they have to stand up against this so-called beast. You know, and then it's two beasts that they have to fight. The one out there and then the one within. And the one within is, you know, because the one within is what created the one out there. You know what I mean? You know, the lower self of the quote-unquote black man is manifestation or manifested as a European.
Literally.
Like literally. The European is our lower self in flesh. That's why our people fear him like that. Because they're really looking at their self. The lowest part of their self that they don't want to look at. You know, the part of yourself that you know you don't want to go there. You know, the part of yourself that if you get put in that place, you want to humble that place.
As you said before, we're not all Moors. We're not all the same brothers as Moors. So, for my perspective on the European type, I can't really say they're us. In one, they are, but in principles, they're not.
Not all of them. Like you said, there's Europeans who I know that I'll give them a weapon and tell them have my back before some of these black guys, because I know the black guys will kill me. Islam. Europeans.
Islam.
Of course.
There's Europeans who I know that back this, support this, more than people who should be supporting this.
Because they've been brainwashed, you know. No. Over and over.
You mean our people?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been brainwashed over and over.
Yeah.
It's been done on us for hundreds of years.
No, this is the thing that, you know, that's why I brought up that with what Drew Ali said. Only a handful is going to be saved. You already know these people are brainwashed. They call themselves an adjective. You haven't more brainwashed than that.
The craziest.
You know for yourself that you're a noun. You know you're a noun. You call yourself an adjective, you know you're a noun? You got mental problems, for real.
But they think it's a little problem though, like that little problem can't affect what's going on in their spiritual world, you know what I mean?
Right.
They think like, oh, it's so messed up. It's
only, you know, but that really has an effect on life. Just that little thing, calling yourself continent. Maybe they're African. Yeah, we're African. Yeah, but Congolese don't say that they're African. Sudanese don't say that they're African. Ghanaians don't say that they're African. Nigerians don't say that they're African. They might say that they're African when they're around niggers who don't know themselves. But when they're with their own people, they say I'm Congolese. They don't say I'm African. There are people from Iraq don't talk about I'm Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern. Everybody knows ain't no Middle East. Where's Middle West at? Middle North, Middle South. Ain't none of that. But there's a Middle East.
But that's a separation.
Hmm?
That's when the separation comes in. Okay, why are thou separation thyself?
Well,
I one.
and again, that once, if our people are absent-minded of nationality, they don't see unity. They see separation. Nationality is the unity that all of us are trying to get. We need unity amongst our people. We need unity. We need unity. Okay, well, how about having nationality? Everybody else got one. Doesn't have to be, you know what I mean, some book, you know, the book How to Save the Black Race and whatever like that, to figure it out. Real simple. Just look at the world. You know, we use the example of, like back in the day, you go clubbing or whatever, you know, two Europeans fight, bust eye, bottle to the head, all that stuff. When the police come, no, this is my cousin, we're just drunk or whatever like that, you know, don't worry about us, you know, we'll be alright or whatever. They're just fighting each other 2 minutes ago. The guy was gonna say he's gonna kill this guy. As soon as the police come, oh, they're not enemies no more. They're cousins now, you know what I mean? There's no argument, you know what I mean? Guy has a slash on his face like this, other guy's lips swollen out like this. Don't worry, you guys just fighting? Yeah, but don't worry, we figured it out or whatever, you know, didn't we figure it out or whatever? And they leave him alone. Let two brothers be fighting to see what happens. Both those guys get arrested. They gotta go to your charges. Then of course, you know, all the swearing, cussing, whatever like that, leave me alone, let me go and all that stuff or whatever. They're gonna get obstruction charge, this charge, that charge, and then they say racism. But it's not racism, unity. Unity is key. And unity polarized is nationality.
Islam.
Back to your conversation, health-wise, well, did you know that farmers were the real doctors?
I can see that.
So basically, when you start owning land and becoming farmers, then you help people healthy lives. Okay. Right? That's what I'm saying.
But how
Guys,
can you do that
basic
here
point
if
of
most of the time
nationality
it's
means
snowing?
blood tied to the land. If you own the land, then own the land and do what you want with the land.
Yeah, yeah.
But the joke is, you're looking at perspective as a person who's begging for help. So you're looking for assistance from the so-called corporation to hand you out different things.
Yeah, you're letting them
that
do
you don't
their
really need.
affairs.
And if you let them dictate your health like that, talking about assistance for
No, 5 o'clock, I mean?
then you can't expect them to give you the best. Because
they have so much people to help too at the same time.
But the thing is, it's all about nationality. And nationality means that it's your land. So once you claim the land, you then become farmers. And that'll fix all problems and fix all problems. Exactly, that's nationality. So you have to understand what nationality means.
The higher rank of citizen.
No, but I mean in terms of who you are in this world, on this land.
Yeah.
So you must know where to find a real doctor.
As far as like holistic doctor,
It's your land. You're a farmer. You want
there's
to heal people.
you got some more?
No, I was just going to let all the sort of the newer Moors who come into this, because we're all Moors, just let you know
Makes sense.
that it's going to be a process. In the beginning, I remember it was difficult for me. But you just have to understand that it's all here for us.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time to sort of settle into it. It's all ours.
Yep.
But we've been brainwashed to think that it's someone else's.
Exactly.
So you have to undo that. And this is where they talk about it, and this is the other parts of the things when we talk about the divine and the astrology and all that stuff, which they term to be sorcery and magic. That's the real stuff. That's the brain stuff. That's the mental stuff that you have to get over. All the physical stuff follows, but it's the mental that has to come. So right now, that's part of what you're going through a little bit, is just, and all of the other stuff too, is all the poison that you've been dealing with out there. And the last thing I'll have to tell you is that this is the other thing. It's like that Matrix movie, if you ever saw it. Everything's going to change. All the friends that you've had, if they were there, then you'd be here. You're here because those people weren't about that, and it's taking you this long to get here. So you're gonna, everything, your whole platform's going to change. You're not going to be able to hang out with those same people talking about black once you know that black means death. it can't, like, you may have to in certain dynamics, but ultimately you'll understand that that person, if they don't secretly tell you, yeah, I know and I'm just part of this, then they're part of the problem. So you're gonna, like, it's gonna fracture you. And a lot of people come into this. I've been here now 3 years, and I can't tell you, I was talking to Omar about this, there's been 4 different generations to this, and Kucho's been here for 6 or 7 of them. 6 or 7 different matrices of people who've come in who said they were about this, opened up health food store, opened up natural store, and then gone. So just understand, this is crazy, but if you're willing to take those steps, it's all here for you. And that's what we are here about. There's going to be a small amount of people, you're going to be alone, but there is a whole network out there.
Huge network.
Huge network.
Waiting for us.
Yeah.
But really the network is inside.
Right. With regard to the Adero Herbals, on that card right there, that's hanging, their contact number, Sister Trisha, she's registered, holistic, and all that stuff. You can talk to her, just tell her you got the number from the temple, and she can direct you with regard to your nutritional advancement. You can also look up Queen of Fua online. Queen of Fua, they do a lot of holistic health too.
Oh, just to answer some of that too though, like we were doing some of this studying about the health food stuff, right? You go to get your organic stuff. They've already told you that the water that rains on the organic food has been altered. The seed that you're getting has been genetically altered. So the change has to come within. You can go spend your extra $200 at the health food store. That's everything that you think is supposed to be good, the European has already gotten ahead of and has already infiltrated. So the change has to come within. You're not going to go spend money at the health food store to buy the fresh stuff that's somehow going to change. No, that change is going to come within from your spirit changing that, and that's going to change things. And then, what, like you were talking about, like our brother here was talking about, then we go get some land, and then we start putting our own energy into that stuff.
Right.
Right? Because some of the videos we've watched, 50, 60 years ago, they knew what the answer was. The answer was to get to the food source.
Yeah.
And they've gotten to it. And that's what's disallowed us from moving ahead. Because of that, that's what's kept us down.
It's like when we put things in perspective, right? You never hear people talking about the air's bad, stop breathing. Everything else is bad. Food's bad, water's bad, don't drink that. Make sure you go to organic, whatever. How come, where's the organic air? How come nobody's not worried about the air when that's one of the most important things that we need right now?
That's water. I was.
Right?
One day I took in a deep breath and it just felt like I was breathing poison and I was running a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
Anyways, one day I had a dream about that particular symbol right there and it was on fire.
Which one?
Master.
The master seal?
Yeah. That exact symbol I saw in my dream that was on fire.
Well, that symbol represents the earth. So, you know,
What does fire represent?
Purification.
yeah, purification. It's not a negative.
So it's change.
Rebirth.
Rebirth. How long ago was that?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be part of your coming into yourself. You know, starting to realize certain things, burning off the old to let the new. Like if
Say
you.
anything about a wake dream? Wake dream?
Wake dream?
Yeah.
What do you mean a wake dream?
Where it's like you're fully conscious of your surroundings but you can't move.
Sleep paralysis. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Yeah. There's negative and positive forms of that.
Astral projection would probably be a positive.
Yeah. But
Can't go anywhere.
yeah, you can just do your research on sleep paralysis.
They say that the body's tired but the mind's still awake.
Yeah.
So that could be like you being in a state of consciousness where your brain won't shut down, like your mind won't shut down. So your body shuts down, goes to sleep, but the mind is still active. So consciously you're aware that you're sleeping.
Similar to people who wake up in operations.
But they wake up under anesthesia, but the body's still
yeah,
sleeping.
their body's their body's asleep, but their mind's awake, and they can hear doctor talking about, you know, girl that he was with last night. Or whatever else.
What about if you're dreaming and you're just flying in all your dreams?
Huh?
What about if in all your dreams you're just flying?
Yeah, well, I mean,
just get up and fly naturally.
With regard to dreams, my thing with dreams is that if you dreamt it, you should interpret it. You shouldn't be having dream books and stuff like that, somebody telling you about, oh yeah, well, you dreamt a snake, so that means that, you know, you're gonna, whatever. That's your dream. You know, you dream numbers, go play them.
I usually don't have to interpret
You know?
them.
Yeah, it already makes sense. Yeah.
However I see it.
Yeah. Like it manifests after the dream. Yeah. You know, those are all the Lucy movie powers. When we start activating ourselves, getting into the right information, things are gonna start happening for you. Because remember, like we're saying, you know, we've been under such trauma that we've let go of a lot of our spiritual gifts that we've had.
Oh, and don't get it twisted either. Don't think that they haven't done their job to
make sure
to cut us out. And that was done by, when you do the history, they burnt all the books because the word is God, and that stuff was where the energy came from. So they disconnected you.
Do you have tell me who I am?
If I have to tell you,
No. Do you have the little cartoon series?
No.
Oh, that
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I never heard of it. No.
It's like an educational show.
I can only find like clips of it. I can't find copies of it anywhere.
It's an educational show for our people.
Yeah.
They're trying to they're basically putting out a lot of information, but it's something like if you're so quote unquote conscious, you allow your children to watch that instead of letting them watch some foolishness on Disney or something like that, right? But it has a lot of information.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history. They put a lot of history and they tell me who I am. Is that the animated version? The animated version.
Yeah, I try to make one of my friends let his daughter watch it. And, he gave me shit for it. He's like, you like to be a shit disturber, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I do this for
You know, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Having that energy of going against the status quo. You know, homeschool opposed to go to the whatever. You know what I mean? Organic opposed to go to the supermarket or whatever like that. You know, because we have to. There has to be something that we as individuals do to change what's going on. That's the only way that the change is going to happen, if we do something about it. It's not happening because they say, oh, the Moors are waking up, so let's just pack up all our stuff.
No.
That ain't happening. That'll make them fight more to make sure that we don't get other people.
In fact, we've been warned and told that they're not going to go anywhere unless they see the point of a knife.
Yeah,
And that's not done sort of physically, that's more done spiritually too.
Yeah.
And that being us awake and telling them that we're done with them playing that game with us.
And it has to be us to say it, you know, like many different Moors have many different experiences that they've had that made the light bulb go off for them when they came into this. You know, some of it is instantaneous, some people it took years or whatever like that, but there's going to be a point where you face the fear, and once you overcome that fear that you faced, it's over from there. You know what I mean?
And then you see white people fight, they still keep coming back up. I mean, like they be in a fight with a person and they know they're losing, and they're still fighting. If they think that they own something, they'll still go after it. If they think they own it, you know what I mean, they don't give up.
Really slow.
So we gotta have that same kind of mentality as well. I mean,
There's another analogy too. A trapped animal is the most dangerous one, right?
Right.
And
Give
that's
it space
what, and that's what the European is right now.
Yeah.
He's trapped.
Yeah.
give them room to
All right.
move.
Raccoon in our corner.
Yeah, never trap it.
Tear your face off.
Give it
Always give it a way out.
way out. Yeah.
Especially the Hamilton raccoons.
On Facebook?
Hamilton, right.
This guy on YouTube, he's like smacking this
Oh yeah.
He thought he's a black so-called.
Oh yeah. It was a European.
Get out of here, man. You know what, nigga? Yeah, so you just end with two. Get out of here, nigga. To the camera himself, it's a pale face dude, man. Like what?
Anybody else got any questions? Any comments? Emotional outbursts? Get it out. Get it out now.
Yeah, man. Emotions, distractions.
But you know, it's yeah, bro.
How can you say you are something when you don't know who you are? You have to know who you are first.
Yeah, if you don't know, then it's all about knowing.
Ask somebody.
So,
right?
Like.
And this is okay. I have to claim.
Well, before you use this, no, this is just something that you use anytime you sign anything with anybody. Anybody say sign here, put this down and then sign.
Yeah.
Don't ever just sign just because, you know, they say sign here. Well, I mean, it's not too late, really, you know what I mean? But moving forward, since you know now, right, just like saying, you don't know. When you know, then you apply.
I just want to preface one thing too for the new.
Find it right here.
For the new.
Oh, we got the stamps here. Just talk to Brother Amari. We got the stamps here. Selling.
Preface.
Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
I was just saying for the new Moors, just that they need to, I think you've made this sort of warning too. Before trying any of this stuff out, you need to come to classes to learn because as you're making the shift out of the matrix, you can get yourself into more trouble if you're not careful. So just even in terms of signing your stuff with that stuff, if you're at work or something, and you need that job per se or something like that, just be careful of what you're doing, right?
Yeah, you can just YouTube Canaanland Moors. You got about 500 classes up there. So you know, everything is picture relative. You can just find a picture that you like and push play. Everybody else good? Anything else?
All the street names and them being related to the Bible.
What's that?
Some of the names in the Bible are street names around here.
Yeah, but I mean, street names are relative to Bible, Quran, Torah. It's not just Bible. You know, but it's names. They could use, you know, names are out there. Things, titles.
Things.
No, in certain locations, right? Are there specific meanings behind it?
I mean, probably, but more than likely it's just, you know, Europeans just using stuff that's not theirs as usual. You know, taking advantage of stuff that they shouldn't be taking advantage of. You know, like Brother Abdullah was saying with the colored, you know, just using terms, not defining stuff for people. You know, if there's a street named Jesus, somebody should tell people why or whatever. You know what I mean? Opposed to just call it that. Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't put the street sign there, so I don't know.
Jesus is justice.
I know you can buy a route, so.
Yeah. What were you saying about the name?
Yeah, the name, like, okay. We're all known that for color, we're known as black. No, no, it's not that you have to say, okay, I'm black. Because I'm not black. I am that I am.
Yeah.
I am what I am. I'm not a color.
Right.
I'm not a race.
Right.
I'm a human being.
But every
under the word human being, I know what you're gonna say. It's okay.
Every human being is tied to a nation.
Tied to a nation.
Yeah. So every human being is tied to some nation.
But there's only one nation.
And
there's only one nation.
So
therefore,
there has to be a claim, because you can't exist without a title. You know, that's a camera, but it's a Sony. They got JVC ones, you know, whatever.
What about grass?
right?
What about the grass or the tree?
Yeah, there's different kinds of grass.
They cut them, they grow back.
Yeah, but there's different kinds.
Fever grass. Yeah, I know there's different kinds of grass.
Right, so.
But you cut them, they grow back.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it still has it's still defined. You know what I mean? Yeah, the grass is, I am the I am too. If it could say it, it would say it, for sure.
Well,
you know
it is saying it.
Yeah.
You just
exactly. It's just not. If we took some mushrooms, ayahuasca or something like that, peyote or whatever, trust me, some grass will be talking to you, telling you stuff.
You mean, of course it will, man. That's why you're gonna think it's talking.
The
mushroom's
gonna shift your state of mind.
To make you think, oh, it's talking to you.
No, you never see the movie, was it the Lunatic? Lunatic when the tree was talking to the man? What's his name? Aloysius?
That's what they make you think the tree's talking.
No man, real
No, it's
thing,
real,
man.
it's real.
Real thing.
Yeah,
Him sit down and talk to the tree, but the tree not talk back.
But if you sit down to a planet,
Not in the third dimension.
No.
Not in this dimension, but in higher dimensions.
Yeah,
there's conversation. Yeah, there's conversation for sure. For sure.
Even the name Jesus means justice.
Right.
And the first ship, what's the first ship?
Yeah,
they packed the enslaved people out.
Yeah.
They found it was just for us to be shipped off.
Yeah. Just us. Just us. Nobody else.
Nobody else.
Nobody else came anywhere on a slave ship but us.
Shipping, receiving.
You know. Right. So we're just gonna we want to thank everybody for coming out. We're just gonna close out with our Moorish American prayer. And for people who aren't familiar, you can observe for right now. If you are familiar, east is that way. And we'll get into it.
Point it out. Put it on the walls. E.
5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through His holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali.
Islam.
Peace, Moors. Peace. John today.